the
Oh,
bike,
I heard about that, man. I heard you were.
Yeah, he has been very. And then I'm just walking. He's like, "You're not even breathing." I'm like, "I know, brother. This is what we do around here, man." No, that was a great time. Gave him a. He said he wanted to do something Canadian. So I'm like, all right, let's ride a bike from point A to point B and see how we can do it.
Yeah, not skiing or snowboarding
no, it's not
like that, or hockey. That's not Canadian at all.
So I don't even know if biking's really Canadian. So that was the
it's very much Toronto now.
Yeah, it's Toronto. Well, yeah, come on.
Bike lanes everywhere, bro. Your boy Dougie's angry about that, though.
Yeah,
he doesn't
he's taking
like it.
some of them down.
He's trying. They keep blocking him in the courts.
Do they? Yeah.
He's going to use the notwithstanding clause. Just watch.
Listen. Some streets I like them.
So do I.
I like them. I love using.
Put them on the side streets. Why do they have to be on all the main arteries, bro?
Well, I think that's where they should be. I'm by no means
You're a driver,
a bike advocate. Hey, I'm a driver of all vehicles.
And she's not even a driver. You don't even drive, so you don't even have that bias.
Look what Nimrod said. Bro, try to.
Oh no, my mic's on.
Okay, so Adara was trying to say, I don't want to repeat, but she's like. Cyclists are the most homicidal people in the city of Toronto, and I was saying she doesn't have a bias because she doesn't drive a car. If you drive a car, you might have a little bit of a bias. But anyway, Joey, thank you. Nimrod, we miss you, bro. Hope you're doing very well. Thank you for the memberships. Thank you for everything. Thank you for everybody in the chat for joining Joseph and I on the Afternoon Rundown, and for joining Afternoon Rundown on the midday show, and for joining Adara, Joseph, and I on the news. We're going to send it over to the big boys. You already got Neil long the Zon, and Katina Man is long the advanced money duplicator.
Ooh,
get it, boys?
Duplication. Apparently, we got no mics.
Oh.
Yeah.
Zon? It's been duplicating money today for sure. What's up, guys, everybody? Thanks for the midday show there. Good show there. What's up to Nimrod? What's up to everybody that's in the chat? One more time as we come back for another big show. We come back. The highs of the day for myself. I mean, we've just been watching this AMD. We took this 1130, 1150. Good little trading here on Advanced Micro Devices up to VWAP again. So we were buying this dip, and then right when we left you, it was 11 o'clock. We bought more dips into 167 again, and pop goes the weasel. Nice upside play back into VWAP. But welcome, everybody. Tonight we have a lot of earnings to go over. Which names are going to report tonight. We've got that Marvell. We've got Webull. We've got a whole bunch ready to go tonight. So we're excited. We're jacked. We're
better not be full of
loaded. They probably will be full of bull, but we'll wait to see exactly what Webull has to say.
They're not the only DELL also going to report as well. Jan Loki in the chat saying CGC is on fire today. I hope that pun is intended. I thought it was TLRY that's usually going.
Yeah, what's up with that?
Yeah, what's up? It's supposed to be 24%.
Yeah.
24%. Okay. What is TLRY doing? It's got to be. Oh, come on, son.
We rich.
5%.
Oh.
They don't even move together anymore. Can't we all just get along? Can't we? Yeah, I feel like that's an old.
I don't know. My stream does not change over.
Oh, no.
So
I manually do it every single time.
Yeah.
Make sure you get that notification. That's why you hit the sub so you know we're going to be live. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. So when we come back on, we're locked and loaded and ready to go. The Zon, I guess, means Amazon.
Yeah, because you're in that one, yeah.
Look, Amazon's having a good day. Apple's having a good day. The market's having a good day. NVIDIA was green. It did go green, NVIDIA. It's not right now, but it did go green for a brief little moment. And I think that was one of those things that, you thought on that good quarter, it would be, once they started buying it up, usually they don't stop. Undercover. Micron, of all things, is up 3.5%. This morning we were talking about Broadcom. I think when we had looked, Broadcom, at least around 11 o'clock, was the strongest chip name, or at least out of what we had looked at. But Micron up 3.5%. That's been trending the whole way. The only reason I'm in Amazon is it just basically has been super strong, bull flag, trend break, play into the high of the day because the market is booming. Snowflake, blowout name. Today up double digits, more than double digits. And we've got some news right now from Adara.
Really? Oh, sorry. Really quickly here, PDD on watch. This one just spiked up a little bit, then pulled back down. The CBP here in the U.S. is saying that the de minimis duty-free treatment is suspended as of August 29th. That's tomorrow. So we already kind of knew this was happening, but PDD, bit of a reaction here on news that the de minimis duty-free treatment is suspended as of August 29th. Back to you.
That, of course, being tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's already the 28th. Wow.
School, man. We got our email of like the.
Oh, did you? What class is she in and all that?
Yeah,
stuff?
So we know the teacher.
Oh,
my daughter's disappointed because there was a rumor at the end of school that her she loves her grade 2 teacher, and there was a rumor that she'd be teaching the grade 3 French immersion and going up, and so she was so excited for. We tried to say, hey, look, nothing's official.
Right.
They switched things up a lot here, especially close to the year, and no, so she doesn't get the same teacher. But she's still at the school, which is fine.
Yeah.
But one of our neighbors had the teacher she's getting, and one of our neighbors had her a couple of years ago and had a good experience. So that's always a positive.
Yeah,
and the power's back at our house.
Oh, good. Yeah. Oh, good. I forgot to ask you about that. Yeah. Look. Again, thanks for joining us. We are going to go over many different names here in the afternoon, including names that are reporting and including names that you populate up into this. And right now it's NVIDIA leading the way for obvious reasons, I would think. And we're just going to figure out what leads the way after this because I am going to give it a fresh start. So here we go, man. We are fresh starting this thing right now. So type into the chat, right into here, type in whatever symbols you want to do. And let's just see who's actually, see the roll call. There it is right here. Let's just see. We're not doing no countdown right now. Let's just find out who's here right now as you type in NVIDIA and all these different names that we see here. All right, Justin, we have a little number here from you. Is that why this is not loading? I have no idea. There it is. What's up? Justin, Where Engine. What's up? Where Engine. Okay. What are your levels for the Qs? We'll look at that. Should we go long or short into the close? Yeah, we'll figure that out. Right now, I'm going long. I'm long AMD, and of course, that's kind of like a bellwether for this market. We're $1.50 in the money right now. But who's here right now? Let's give a little bit of a wave here. Let's Go Birding wants Palantir. The Trade Algos wants some stock called Sean. I never heard of that one. MSOS, I think, is a good stock as well. So we say what's up to Keith, yo, why not? Here's some waves. What's up, Bora, as we all populate right now? Yeah, I don't know. Who else is going to wave here? How do I stop this thing? There it is right now. Rigetti's going up now. Weeble, everything. Hi to everybody. So again, thanks for joining us as we try to do the best here of communicating with you and going over some of the different names that you're excited about and vice versa. So yeah, an early look on our little board right here. It does look like, and Neil just said Rigetti, Weeble here coming through with earnings later on tonight. We have AFRM coming tonight as well. Tonight is actually a bigger night than yesterday as far as the names that are coming through. We had the biggest one yesterday with NVIDIA, but many names coming today.
Snow took the cake.
Snow was good. Yeah, Snow was great.
Gap can
AFRM. We have Fed's Waller coming at 4 p.m. as well. So lots happening with us on the after show today. So make sure you do join us tonight with all of that. And we try to finish our slow draft as well.
Still going.
Yeah, it's still going. I don't know. We got Jackson Dart in a later round yesterday, but I don't know. I have so many quarterbacks. But you never have enough. There's going to be injuries.
Fantasy, you got to value. Sometimes you just got to take the value, right? If you get a good dip buy, crowd strike.
Crowd, yeah. That's same in fantasy sports as it is in stocks. And look at Snowflake right here. I mean, Snowflake's going to be on the order, so maybe we don't have to talk too much about that. But I brought this up at 10 o'clock and was kind of like, hey, man, maybe this goes Mongo. And yeah, it's going MongoDB style right here and just continuously going upside right now. You beat, you raise, you get a good number at Snowflake, and there it goes, just a small 23% upside. So wow. And then we will talk about Marvell coming into the close. I bought more shares just as we went off air, $76. We're lucky enough that it was just around here 11 o'clock. I put a bid at 76. I don't do anything too fancy. I just put out the prices when they fill, they fill. So we got $76. We got a little bit more long in Marvell here ahead of earnings. So apparently there's now more information coming about UNH. I don't know, they're looking for some more information requested on something. We'll get that figured out very, very soon. All right, during the midday, you guys put into the chat different names that you want us to cover. And right now, it's called The Rundown, and it's happening right here at the desk with Sharif. What's up, Rob?
Welcome to the Afternoon Rundown, everyone, the show where you decide what we talk about every afternoon. The boys are locked and loaded, and they're ready to look at the tickers as decided by you, but the only way to get those tickers up there, you just saw it. Sean had the chart there. You got to get in the chat and vote for your favorite tickers every day. Super easy. Throw in that $sign followed by whatever ticker your heart so desires. Let's look at the major averages today. The leading one here on the top left of your screen, the triple Qs up 0.2%. That on the Nasdaq. Top right is the ES up a little higher than 0.25%. That's the SPY, which is the ES ETF. Bottom left is the IWM, the Russell 2000 ETF, a little above flat, up 0.04%. And the bottom right is the Dow, flat on the day as well, 0.03. The first ticker, as decided by you guys, no surprise here. Obviously, NVIDIA reporting after the bell yesterday and spiked down initially down to 170, but being bought up quite aggressively here into 180. In fact, Dan Ives says any decline is a clear buying opportunity, guys.
I mean, generally speaking, that has been true, but I don't know. Like, you'd be buying a lot of declines if that's the case. Just quickly before we go to NVIDIA, that SOGP, which I see has made the list, is halted right now to the upside. The tap was 14, but now it's saying I got 1359 as the 13, and it just reopened. So it looks like it opened at 13. It's hard to tell, 13.4 maybe, and it's just absolutely flying here. So they reported, and this one going out. So I wanted to make sure we got this. I knew it was about to open. It's like, well, we can talk about NVIDIA at any time, but this thing is going ham. Almost 100 million in volume. Level 2 doesn't look like 100 million in volume, but it's done 100 million in volume. Unbelievable name. So when it comes, like, I'm trying to figure out
cool prints or
it's.
Someone could have put an order out for 100,000.
I'm thinking if you're watching it, it doesn't look like it's doing 100 million in volume when you look at the level 2.
When retail gets involved.
It's that one is wild. Just be careful with it. It's obviously a little bit top heavy. NVIDIA is top heavy in a different way, I would say. Somebody really likes selling $184 on the stock, and unfortunately, it wasn't a perfect report. Not a perfect report. No breakout through that 52-week high. That's just how it is for NVIDIA. They need to come. It need to be like 100% unscathed, right? And that didn't happen, so we get to consolidate for a while before we break out, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with a little consolidation. Sometimes you need to gear up, like coil a little bit, like when you get in the blocks, compress, and then you wait for the starting pistol for NVIDIA. So whether that's days, weeks, we'll just have to await this 185 breakout here. So it ended up being a dip buy. First dip into the prior highs was okay, then didn't work. It was really when it got all the way down to 177. We should keep an eye on that because the earnings day one low is 177-ish, and that was support from a few days ago. I think that's going to become key as long as we hold on to this. I think that can be a nice little place where we can find some strength. Right now it's holding higher lows all the way through. I mean, it's not the sexiest name today, unfortunately, and you had to pick your spots with it. But what it did accomplish was raise the market, raise a bunch of other individual names with their growth. So ultimately, you can't really complain too much here. It's just when you had the margins down, you had the China story not exactly complete there. They're telling you how much they're leaving on the table with China, and once that gets resolved, I think you get a break of the highs. That 185. That'll be a popular one when it goes. That's the kind of level. If it breaks tomorrow and fails 185. And it breaks Monday and fails 185, I'd still take the break on Tuesday on NVIDIA. It's one of those levels.
All right. So we wrote down here today the same kind of thing. We had 178 long. The best part about NVIDIA today is that we were able to get away from it. And now we're up much more on AMD than we lost here on NVIDIA. So this was my play there early. We did get a great, we were cruising with NVIDIA, actually. It was a great trade early. We had this bottom, which was fantastic, 180. And that's where we're like, oh, man, we have visions of what we did yesterday, where this is coming all the way back up to the highs. But so we went from 180 there to get at 181.50 is our best number there on VWAP. And then when it came back in, we just went to our node again. We got to trust the work that we do, and came into 178, and we got a couple outs, but that was about it. And then we got stopped out once we officially broke that 177.50. I give this name obviously at least 50 cents of room there on the break, and it just didn't do anything for me. But then I was like, you know what? Let's go back and find out what's going on with AMD. And we found out that AMD, of course, without the earnings risk associated with it, we found a bottom, and it was just kind of like right into here. Yesterday's closing prices in and around 166.50. So we actually wind up getting stopped out of it first. Well, we had some good trades, but stopped out there, bought it back, was good all the way back up. And again, when we're taking 167s and getting out 168.50, you know it's been a pretty good opportunity there. And then just as we were leaving you guys at 11 o'clock, we came right back. This is actually during the midday show, 11:30s, 11:15s, and then again 11:45, where we wound up defending that exact same area. Now look at this, man. 3 horsemen, 1, 2, 3, right here at VWAP out. AMD, the #1 stock by far here today for our show, and it's a great one. Love trading these names, AMD and NVIDIA. There it goes, man. My whole day is AMD. So we're happy with it. Although we're going to be 2 for 3 with Tesla, which I'm sure is coming up, now. We'll talk about that trade. That was also a good one. Excited to show you guys what happened over there with Tesla.
Okay, a couple of things here, Sean. You brought UNH to my attention. So here's the headline. Senators are demanding information from United Health on loan collection practices. That's really the extent of the headline. I don't have more information. As soon as I do, I will bring it to you. In addition to that, Lisa Cook, her lawyer, now suggesting that there was a clerical error behind the mortgage dispute. The lawyer suggesting that if there were errors, she didn't mean to deceive anyone. No one was harmed, a standard known in law as materiality. So that is just coming out right now. I want to bring that to your attention now with the next headline over here. TSLA down 1 1/3% as a result of 40.2% drop in year-over-year deliveries in July for their European sales. All the while, boys, BYD surging over 200% year-over-year.
Yeah. You never heard of them.
Clerical error. I made a clerical error when I traded Tajay Spears and he got hurt the other day. I actually meant somebody else.
That's the thing. I mean,
and then he got hurt, so you should give me the pick back because
fine.
No, actually, no. I probably shouldn't because I but no. It just look. Obviously, it's not that we don't want to get political here, but the Fed does matter. That doesn't sound too good on the surface of it, but we'll see how this whole thing shakes out. We're going to get the cut anyways next, and we'll see how that whole thing shakes out. Try not to get too political. That doesn't sound good at all.
No.
Yeah.
I don't trust it. I don't think if you're supposed to be that smart, honestly, like you're a member of the Fed, you just tried to get away with something and you got caught. It is what it is.
Lots of people lots of people get caught for mortgage for something very similar. It happens a lot.
Yeah, lots of people are dishonest.
More than you would think. And people do that kind of stuff, right? It happens.
No integrity.
It doesn't sound good. It doesn't sound good at all.
Whenever you're dishonest, I mean, that is, if we look up the definition of integrity, I mean, I hope for her sake, it is a clerical error.
I hope so.
And it could be. I don't want to pass judgment before.
I really hope so.
The facts to come out because we're just sitting here talking.
It doesn't sound good, that's all.
No, exactly. It's like, and it's about, whatever, innocent until proven guilty, exactly, and that's what we do with trading over here. All right, so look, someone in the chat said, oh yeah, he's got his hoodie on over there, Joe. So I don't know what.
He's not eating the garbage fish that we ate. That's for sure.
I don't know what he has. What is that? He is eating it. He got shawarma. Yeah, we're getting shawarma tonight at my house. We're really excited about shawarma there tonight. So shout out to shawarma. What, beef one or chicken shawarma? Okay, maybe I'll join you tonight. Look, again, right there on the note today was Tesla short 351 to 352 or 350 to 351. We took the short early. It worked out great until it didn't, and we got stopped out right there. And then this happened. We saw that top wick. It was really early, and I'm like, I don't want to get stopped out here. We've had so many huge trades on Tesla in the past. Why not do another one right here? See if we can do that, and that's exactly what we wound up doing. The problem is we didn't have nearly as many shares on this as we did on AMD, like not even close to the same amount. But there it comes in. We shorted the 353. There's my last out. We put a stop. Like I should have just, again, it's not, we're responsible for all the trades that we put on, and it's no excuse or anything like that. But, I'm trying to get it when we break right into here, the 21 period moving average, but it was all the way down there. We should have maybe had a little more responsibility and got out, but we got out at 344 eventually once it took this area. It kept on bouncing off of it and getting back in. So once we finally took 344.50, we wound up punching out of the rest of it. But it was just a small $8 winner at the end of the day. We were in the money about $13 at one point, but we only had a small piece left, about 5% left. So we do cover that rate there. These were good outs down into here as we were really cascading back in, but that's your trade of the day. I mean, Tesla $13 from top to bottom. Plus, even that out rate there is $8 or $9, and then our final out is $9. So yeah, pretty good there. We knew that Tesla was going to be a short today on those numbers. And hey, look, sometimes you got to play the game, and we did it right there with Tesla. So it was a good day trade. You know, we're here to do those every day, and we just got to find them. And Tesla seems to be giving them to you all of the time. So Tesla today has the Midas touch.
Yeah, down that 1 point today on Tesla. But the good news for Tesla, SOGP we'll get to. I know that thing is moving around like crazy. Be careful on that stock. It just resisted a halt down a second ago, and we'll get to it in a second. But Tesla, at least on the higher time frame, the good news is it's consolidating above a little bit of a breakout. So as long as it doesn't, like in here, it's about call it the mid 330s to about 329 where the 200 period moving average is. As long as it can hold on to that, then you have a pullback and a slight uptrend, which it's been doing since earnings. Since earnings, it's been nothing but bad news and nothing but like dips into some little higher lows here. It's gotten like Tesla's, it's stuck in a little bit of a rut right now, because you're waiting for like when are we going to get good news? But it's slowly rising on more and more bad headlines, which leads me to believe that when we get a good one, we should blast. Hopefully on Tesla. So slight upward trend. Unfortunately for it today, it didn't really go anywhere. This just seems like a stock. Tesla does not usually condense like this, but when it does, and it starts to condense, like go back to August of 2024. When it started to condense a little bit and then it tried to go. But then eventually when Tesla gets going, you know the volatility it can have on it. You get those 10-15% type movements, but it just doesn't happen yet. We need something from, heck, let's be real. We need something with autonomous, because I don't think it's going to be Optimus. I think it's going to be a breakthrough in autonomous and the robo-taxi. That's what's going to have to get it going. So it's just another dip, but at least the higher lows are still intact there for Tesla. SOFI doesn't have to worry about dips.
Ooh, SOFI on deck.
More information coming out regarding this Cook situation. The lawyer saying mislabeling a home's purpose on a mortgage application without any allegation of its intentionality or materiality would not be the type of offense that would constitute cause for removal. That is her lawyer's statement. As we get more of this, I'll report on back to you. Here's the weekly chart, guys, on SOFI. SOFI up nicely on the day, over 5%. The reason I show you the weekly is I want to show you we're almost back to those pandemic area highs into 28, 29. On the day, though, as Neil mentioned during the midday, we are above 26 now, up 26, 21. As I mentioned, 5% in Greensville.
This is one of my favorite 3 month charts, SOFI. Although maybe I only need a monthly. Here, let me just check. Come on, eSignal, load it up, baby. Yeah, the monthly is just as good. So monthly, 3 month, doesn't matter. You have to go far enough back to see that, look, it's so close, breaking this 28 level. If and when it does happen, we've seen this story before where it looks like it's overextended, but then you go back to when like Robinhood did something like this. When Robinhood did this, and you're like, oh yeah, Robinhood's overextended, and then it just proceeded to go another 20, 30%, and is still holding above on that monthly chart, even with a couple of pullbacks. So that's the run that SOFI is on. You actually had, it's a lot of everything working well. Like fintech has been making good bounce and run, but it's doing some continuation that you're just not seeing out of Robinhood. And like I said, I like what I see. I actually I think this was a mistake. Here, I'll go to the 3 minutes so you can see. Like I was in the long as it was breaking out 26, and it got to got up to the 20 mark and then broke down, and I got cute with it. I was like, oh, I like the long on this thing. Let's reverse into a short. So I ended up giving back a decent enough portion of what we had made on that long, and it's still going. I think this is a buy the dip situation. 28, when it gets there, my gut tells me the first thing it's going to do is pull back at that 28 because it's such a monster level on the monthly chart, and that's a pretty big time frame. But it's marching towards a test of that level, seemingly day after day. And when you get a chance, like yesterday, it dipped. All it did is essentially V-shape it. So it's responding to pullbacks by finding a bottom, rounding right up and trying to take out that bottom. So there's room to about 25, 55, 60 in here today. So next available dip, maybe we can get something going into 26. SoFi, great story. Love the stock as it continues its rise.
All right, just getting out a tweet for tonight's market recap show. Lots of stocks popping off there tonight. That is for sure. ADSK, DELL, Ulta Beauty, Affirm, Webull, oh boy. Okay, so yeah, man, we're loving some SoFi right here. Like we talked about this, we had Mitch on Tuesday or whatever, and was like, he thinks SoFi has a chance to go, and it's going. We had a nice little dip down into 25 bucks, and again, I was thinking like, you want to dip into this area, 21, 22, but the market doesn't go down anymore, so you might not get that opportunity. You should be buying dips all over the place is what it looks like here as we focus on the market again. But yeah, it's still going. We like that stock here. SoFi breaking through those highs. Neil just went over some levels there, so I'm not going to do the same thing as him. Tonight we do have Webull reporting. I think that if you're going to, SoFi has their banking license, so that's a little different situation there. I think they're a much bigger beast, obviously, than Webull. I don't mind this investment that I've made in Webull at 11 bucks, but I'm not as excited about it. The market here doesn't like Webull as much as Robinhood or as SoFi right now. Now, hopefully, if they can somehow turn a profit or whatever, the expectation here on Webull, let me bring this down here just to find out what it is. 8.1% implied move. No earnings or no EPS for Webull tonight. So we'll wait to see. I mean, hopefully they're able to turn around and make a little bit of money. I just want to make sure I don't have that right. Yeah, no earnings estimates there tonight for Webull. So we'll get that. It's bouncing off the 50-period moving average. Those of you asking, is Webull a long or a short or whatever you want to know about it? Yeah, both. I have no idea. I'd like to see them put up a number. We've came up to 18 bucks. I was able right here live on the show to slip something out in and around 18, so to go from 11 to 18. I think if we can get up there again, we take this out. For me, I'd prefer a long in Webull tonight going into earnings, just because we've seen Hood, we've seen SoFi, and SoFi was a great response to their earnings day as well. They did fade off the whole day after they reported, but it was a good one there for SoFi. I believe it was either right into here or right into here. I think it was this day here. We went up to 25 bucks and we wind up closing somewhere into here and then just straight upside again. So yeah, again, really like Robinhood, really like SoFi, and really like Webull. I think they can all continue to work, and I would say pick your poison. I'm long Webull down there in the $11 mark, 10.85, 11.50, I don't know what it is. But we're long down into there, looking to get some out today if we can get that high again. But we're still $1.50 in the money on AMD as that's continuing to go higher. All right, Neil talked about SOGP. Let's go find out what's going on. Oh, will NVIDIA end green? I don't know. Yes. I had said red earlier today. Yes, okay, good, still red. So
it's trying.
Yeah, so Neil's on the yes side, I heard, and then I'm on the red side. So we selected red earlier. I don't think it's still open, right? Did
we say close green, or did we say
close.
Get green? Okay,
close.
So close.
Yeah, not get.
Yeah, because get would have already happened.
Yeah.
SOGP is going to
let's
close
go find
green.
out. Yeah, is it?
Well, if this thing closes red,
we have bigger problems.
Like oh my goodness, if this thing closes red.
Yeah, let's not.
Somebody gonna get hurt real bad if that.
And it's not Fabian.
Red. No, he's fine.
Hey, Fabian.
Fabian. Oh, my bad. 226%. Neil is SOGP in Greensville. They reported first half of 2024 revenues, which fell year over year, primarily due to decrease in paying users. Their average total mobile monthly active users was around 35.7 million. But according to this report, the shares are trading higher after they announced a $4 million share buyback program, guys. So try and hold above 12.5 here, but off that 1450-ish high day.
Well, then that means the float, the data that I'm looking at can't be right. Because...
Well, it could have been delayed. What is it?
The float data that I'm looking at says 4.3 million. So
and what did Chief say? There was a...
So obviously there's no 4 million buyback on 4.3 million float. because that would be ludicrous.
Maybe the owner, they're just trying to put the money back into the stock. Reward shareholders.
That's
open up a treasury. Start talking about Ethereum.
That would be nonsensical. Like it would, if it were true, that would be unprecedented. But it would probably explain 230%. No, I don't think the float data is probably not correct there. It's a pure, at this point, it's a pure momentum play. As I said, just having a quick look, and I have Walmart. I don't remember why I have the Walmart level 2 up, but I'm sure I had a reason. But when you look at this, it doesn't look like a $100 million volume stock. It's $12. Like it's not exactly moving that way. Just to get it out of the way for everybody. It did manage to not halt down after failing $14 in here somehow, and essentially bounced right off this halt level, the halt up price at 11 quarters. So I'd keep an eye. If you happen to be long this, ideally you're long in some bottoms and not buying it off the top, because this seems so super extended. I would love to try to find different float data on this for sure, like to get an update, give an idea how big a deal that 4 million buyback might be, so that you can try to wrap your head around it. But it's not the worst. It's not as if this is like the super nasty chart or anything, right? Like this stock had already broken some bag holding levels and then held a higher low and is potentially squeezing some people out. So I do think this is probably whatever the float is got soaked up and is helping to cause this move. Just be careful up here. It is really thin and the volume is declining. So I wouldn't want anyone to get trapped at the top here. Like I said, I'll look around and see if we can get some other float data here, because it sounds implausible on the surface.
Yeah, all right, let's go back over to Sharif. We'll find out one more bit of information about Open Door, and then we will start sort of talking about other things, but this is the rundown, so let's finish it off. Our fifth name here, Open Door. Has it been opened or closed? We're going to find out the story right now with Sharif.
Slightly ajar.
For a story, Sean, none today, but one can make reasonable inferences over here, as we got the jobs number today that possibly maybe putting the rate cuts in question. But if you look at the FOMC tool, we are very much expecting those rate cuts to come in September. But here is open, guys, a little off that $4 area, but off the highs of the day, just below 6%.
I always think that when we're talking about Open Door, well, there's lots of different things to talk about, but we're always looking at the short flow, right? So 25%. So we'll figure real estate management and development. I like that industry. Right there, 24% here with a float of 630 million shares. So we don't have to worry too much about that angle. But yeah, whenever you let these sort of sleeping dogs lie a little bit, there is room for upside moves, right? And I think that's maybe what's happening right now today. A little 6% bump here for Open Door. We saw the same thing happen to SOFI, where we had come back in and then just took a break for a day or two and then went right back there, right back to the upside. So no one's really holding this, or this is not trading on any valuations. I don't even know if they have a PE. I didn't check that part out yet. No, they do not. So yet to make money is Open Door. So you're taking a swing basically just on momentum here. And if you are a momentum trader, then Open Door really fits your prerogative. Right back, I said $3 right into here, the last sort of dip buy opportunity, but we might have just held that gap right there. So gap fill hold right now on Open Door. So maybe changing it from 3 to 4, basically. If I would say this is a similar play. Now, I don't like Open Door as much as I like Big Bear AI, but I would say that this is a play where you might want to buy at 4, then come in here. I think that's a pretty key level there at 3. And then worst case, if you still like the stock, you got $2 to bounce your head off of. But a little different story here. I don't know if I like the difference between Big Bear AI and Open Door. I don't see, and I've said this before, I don't see the rate cuts as being that big of a deal with a quarter-point rate cut. Even 3/4 of a point would be nice, but that's December. So if that's already all baked in, which it is, I can show you as Sharif mentioned there, the Fed rate tool. It's been 80%. It's been 40% of three cuts by December for quite a while now. And Open Door has already made the move. So I feel like it's baked in. So you just want to try to play it smart and do the right thing. Buy it in this gap area, and I think at $3 again. And don't get too excited on up days, man. Let it sleep for a little bit, and then take it after that. But for me, yeah, Open Door, good trading. It seems like it's one of the top names for the retail side. And it's been like that for a while. Yeah. So Open Door again. Neil, 185 million shares.
Well, that's the volume's still good. that's what's amazing about this, and that's why the exchanges love this kind of stuff. Do the Right Thing is a great movie.
Yep.
Old school. Michael Rappaport. I think that was his
Michael
first.
Rappaport.
I think that was his first decent or big film.
Michael Rappaport. That's the guy from NFL.
Yeah, Michael Rappaport was on Do the Right Thing, Spike Lee. That was his start. He worked in the pizza shop.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Anyways, it's neither here nor there. It's a good movie.
That's
Check
cool.
it out.
Cool.
For sure. Open
More
door.
you know.
I don't know how much to add to it, except for why do I have CRM on my daily? Oh, I know why. No, the only thing I was like, actually, what's interesting is today was I was looking for a breakout. I was looking for a breakout above these this prior low, call it like 440. It just didn't materialize. So if it doesn't happen today, maybe tomorrow. It seems to have held $4. So if you can break out 450 tomorrow, maybe move into $5. That's gives you a potential 10% mover. I don't see any reason why that happens today. Everyone seems to be in on this other stock, that SOGP. While there's volume, there doesn't seem to be any upward momentum. So consolidated day for open door. Give it a shot tomorrow. For breakouts, they actually they got to get there and they got to blow through the high. It just didn't really do anything except consolidate, which is a good thing because it's not falling anymore, right? And that's your concern. Like when this is falling, it'll trend down for a little bit and start fading those pops. But I think you're in a nice consolidated phase. And back to that SOGP for a quick little second. It is halted to the upside now. So the halts are going to be fast and furious on this, the way it's moving around. I don't even understand how it didn't halt more often. Like, where's the halt?
The SPY.
It's a little bit nonsense. I don't know why it didn't halt earlier, but it halted at 1383, just off the high of the day, up 260-something%. I checked another source. It still said 4 million float on this name.
Yeah, maybe it is. That's what I'm trying to say.
Have you ever heard of anything like that? I've never heard of anything like that. How are you going to do a buyback for pretty much all of the shares? $4 million. Oh, I thought you said shares. No, that's nothing. So this is just a pure nonsense squeeze then. Whatever.
Randy, how's the supervising going over there?
Well.
I like it. I like it. Oh, Rob said supervising? Is that what he said? Oh, supervising.
We're getting our desk ready. It's almost ready.
I mean, I like the supervisor role. Yo, what's up, Ramin?
Kind of. Looks so happy.
Exactly. That's the whole point,
The bigger
my
monitors
guy.
are in, everybody. We stepped it up. We got
I
some
like
bigger
that
monitors.
Ramin's got on the toque right here. I don't know, are your hands cold? My hands.
I'm going to get a tea before this aftermarket or this afternoon show is done.
Yeah, it's
what
a little
happened to who knocked over the bull? I probably did. Never mind. I know, I must have.
See
done.
where it is.
I'm always elbowing the bull. Now he's got.
All right.
Well, that didn't take very long.
Yeah, SOGP right now. I mean, we kind of joked about it.
That didn't take long at all.
You had said like, oh, it's going to be green today. I was like, is it? But yeah, it will.
No, I think it'll.
No, I'm just playing around. Of course it will.
I mean, I could see it at like $7, maybe $6. I don't know if it goes to like $3.80.
No.
Be red.
No. We'd be aight. We'd be aight. Right there with that one. We'll see what's happening right now with everyone's favorite.
Speaking of Randy.
Halting. Yeah, speaking of Randy, what's up?
Remember there was news midday on RIVN. RIVN, well, speculation based upon a hire, like there was, I guess, like a job posting.
Okay.
That people were hinting means RIVN making their push into the automated taxi story. What is interesting about that? We're going to go to Adair in a quick little second. Triple top on RIVN, 1350, 1, 2, 3 times the charm. Can we break it out today? I hope so, because I like this breakout on RIVN. Looks pretty good to me.
We get out some more AMD.
Yeah, it's all above the 50 period. There's a lot going well here for RIVN. Let's go to Adair at the desk.
Keep an eye on INTC. We know that previously we had some comments from the CFO with regards to the CHIPS Act and how that factored into the deal. Then we had Caroline Levitt during the White House press conference talking about how apparently the deal still had some details to be ironed out. Now we have Financial Times citing Intel CFO, reporting that the Intel deal is designed to block the sale of its chip-making unit. So the U.S. is taking the stake in Intel, it sounds like at least partially, to block it from selling that chip-making unit. Back to you.
All right. Thank you, Adara. So we'll have to check out, anything that is happening right now, Intel related, $25. I love the short up here at 26. If we can get that, or at least covering my long. I'm in the long right now. It's a good long, man. We're in the money like 40% or something down there at 19. I mean, Intel gave us so many great buying opportunities. And this is what I'm saying, like, you'll see me sell Palantir, do this, do that. But you know what? At the end of the day, it's like you got to find opportunities to put your money to work. And I've been talking so much crap about Intel when it was at $50, $40, all the way down. But eventually it gave a bottom, and it was a pretty decent one in and around here, $18, $19. And then all of a sudden, you get the catalysts and a nice upside play. But right into here, $25, $26. I think Intel is a decent sell up there. So we'll wait to see. I don't want to get out of everything. How I do it normally is like 15, 20% at a time. Just like that SOFI, we got out at 24, and now it's at 26.50. So, but we did buy some more Marvell here today. And we put even some money, that SOFI money, I don't know if it was the same day, but we bought some Eli Lilly down there at 630, 640. All right, so today though, we're going out now. SPY, all-time high. All right, so that's that. This is the SPY. This is this S&P 500 right now, all-time high. Nasdaq today, QQQs. Oh yeah, that's right. I got to switch it. You got to switch it manually. I should just do it on the show. I should just do it here. Forget it. There's the Qs right there. You can't tab over and do it when you're in the window. The Qs do not crash.
It's good.
There it is. Almost all-time highs for the Nasdaq today. So we're getting ready to go out over there near all-time highs. We did have that little dip down over the last couple of days in the Nasdaq as we all witnessed that, and we were all like running for the hills. But there it is, the Qs right now going out near all-time highs. So something to watch out for right there in the Nasdaq. All right, so that's that. And then the diamonds, the DIA, which is the Dow Jones, that's also today at all-time highs as well. So we have all three major indexes right here at all-time highs off of a great earnings season, and obviously sparked a lot of that through with NVIDIA today as that keeps on going higher. So all that stuff is happening. Pure Storage, PSTG was the name. I heard the guys on the midday talking about this one. Another one slipping. They had strong earnings, up only 32% today. So you're talking about Snowflake today. You're talking about Pure Storage. A lot of these numbers, we haven't even looked at PSTG too much today. Energy also upside is from what I remember. XLE today and some of the energy names going higher. As right now, yep, there it is, another 0.67 on the energy side of things. As many sectors creating all-time highs or near that anyways. XLF, we talked about that yesterday, making all-time highs. So that comes through there. We did get a good GDP number revised higher. So GDP helping the S&P 500 naturally.
And then the jobless claims number was, it was pretty
fantastic.
Good. It wasn't great. It wasn't huge, lower. But it was a little bit lower, so we like that for sure. I actually think one of the most impressive things that happened today was the move in CrowdStrike off the bottom.
Yes.
Like literally gobbled up when the stock was down. And that's sort of the thing. Like guidance was even like they beat on the top, they beat on the bottom. They had 21% revenue growth. Like all that kind of stuff is fantastic. But at the end of the day, the guidance was slightly lower than consensus.
Right.
And you saw this in the aftermarket show, how they like to beat this up. The guidance was slightly lower than consensus, and this thing dropped $30. It wasn't even close. By the time we opened up, it had filled in almost the entirety of the gap, and then it filled in the rest on the opening candle. On the opening candle on a 15-minute, it filled in the rest of the gap, and now keeps going. So one of the things that I think you learn here is, well, you're not going to get away with if you have three separate cybersecurity names that all dip and rip, it's probably not going to be that easy the fourth time. If Fortinet did it and Palo Alto can do it and Zscaler, it might not be so easy with CrowdStrike by the end of the earnings season cycle. You might have to have a different plan than just waiting until the next day or the second day or the third day to pick it up and think it's going to be all roses because the market caught on and the market didn't wait for you to be able to catch the bid. That's just how it is.
The right thing to do, I think, in this example is buy a little bit.
Yeah.
And then if you like it, you can buy more. Yeah. So that's like what we did with Marvell ahead of earnings. I did it with Oscar. We've done it with Marvell. We did it again today with Marvell. Have an opinion on
You were getting it before, though. Like, the thing is, my different thing is, like, you were buying it, like Amazon, you could buy it in the morning the next day. Palo Alto, you could buy it the morning the next day. Fortinet, you could buy it the morning the next day. With CrowdStrike, you had to put the bid in last night. And that was the difference. And I think when it's at the end of the cycle and you've seen the pattern happen, it's just a little bit more aggression on the buy the dip. Let's go to Adara. I believe we have a story.
Yeah, just keep an eye here on FXI and KWEB here, any of these China names. I don't think this is a super huge story. The market doesn't seem to care too much, but just be aware here, the U.S. Trade Representative announcing, the U.S. Trade Representative in general, extending certain exclusions from the China Section 301 tariffs. So it looks like certain exclusions are just going to be extended there, continue to be excluded. If I get more details on this, I'll let you know. Tried to look into it, but there is a lot of legal jargon involved. So if I get more details, I'll let you know. Again, exclusions being extended, it sounds like, with regards to these Section 301 tariffs in China.
My chart sort of a T. There, okay, thanks. Yeah, FXI there as we look at some China plays. I mean, look at Alibaba as well, but here, let's have a quick look at FXI. We've had Brian Shannon on a couple times and some different traders that have come on, and talked about not favoring some of the China plays, too risky, the government obviously in control of everything over there. They could just pull the lever on anything at any time, but I'm getting more and more if that feeling is true here in the United States as well, and it necessarily shouldn't be that way, but there it is. So it's riding this 50-period moving average on the daily. It's been pretty well respected here for a while. It was a little choppy into here, but look, 50 period, right? Doesn't get going until we break it. Once we do, it holds it until it breaks it again, then it tanks, then it breaks it again and is holding one more time. So whether or not the Chinese government is in charge of their people or not, the 50-period moving average is in charge of the stock. So we'll have to, and this is an ETF, of course. This is the China 100 names, and 3750 right there looking like a great opportunity to see some kind of resistance in that name, or support in this situation, 3750 for FXI. So if you do get some negative news there in China, let's wait to see. If we get a move down $1, then we can go ahead and check it out with FXI.
Hey, keep an eye on OPAD. We've got some commentary here from Eric Jackson of Open Door fame, and he's basically just comparing the two stocks, saying that OPAD is, smaller than Open, and it's only in a few markets. Comparing Open's move from the bottom to OPAD's move from the bottom, Open Door is up about 100% more than OPAD from the lows. He also said that Open shareholders are missing out on days like this where OPAD is running. So, kind of weird comparison commentary on OPAD and OPEN from Eric Jackson. This isn't the first time he's compared the stocks either, but just, be aware of these two names, guys. Eric Jackson on X getting active. This is the man, for those who are unfamiliar, who has been standing outside Drake's house, encouraging him to buy Open Door. Back to you.
He owns Open Door. Does he own this one too, OPAD? That's what I'm curious about here.
I don't get the impression, because he doesn't seem to be super enthused about what's happening with OPAD. Like I said, he's weirdly comparing it and trying to be like, well, Open should be doing more like what OPAD's doing. Why is OPAD moving like this? It's kind of bizarre, like I said.
Okay, that makes a little more sense. Yeah, because basically you're just like, come on, man, Open Door should be doing more because this one's up 74%. It's the same thing. Okay, that makes more sense here. So, I don't know, sometimes you get a little jealous of what the grass is always greener type of story. But OPAD, the thing about Open Door is doing so much more volume, but volume is only part of the story. This one, and it's easier to see, this one's in, it seems like the earlier innings, right? Like the volume spike really just started happening on the 25th, and then now you're getting a potential breakout, potential breakout over $5 here. I should say potential because we haven't actually closed above $5. But that's the volume weighted average price. So I think that's where you look. If this can hold on to VWAP, that's going to be pretty key. And just remember, we call it like bag holding levels or like wick top. It's pretty obvious when you look at a daily chart. You can see it close above $5. It's pretty good here. So, yeah, we look at Open Door, but as a trading vehicle, this just seems like it might be a little bit earlier in the story, which I like. So why not? We'll keep this one up on a side chart instead of Open, I think.
Yeah, Pat, thanks to Dara for all of that. But we do have exciting news, of course, for Canadian investors that are looking to get 3 times your leverage here, 3-time bull and 3 times bear exposure to the S&P TSX 60, the semiconductors, and U.S. Treasuries. And we have even better news for everybody out here today because they're offering a special fee rebate, dropping management fees to just 65 basis points until December 31st. Of course, this is Global X, their Beta Pro 3 times ETF, currently hedging as well for U.S. dollar exposure. So you get get the accurate performance that you are looking for. If you are a tactical, sophisticated trader looking to amplify your performance, similar to what I do here, trading the TQQs, look for betapro.ca/3x daily to learn more, and never, ever do something without having some research, because the one thing I want to tell you guys about any of those things, especially the TQs or anything like that, is you do get decay. So the reason why it is triple levered, same thing with the SOC sell or anything like that, they're playing options, so they got there's costs to that. There's premiums that get instilled into those, so you have to be careful. It's a great tool for weekly trading, options, things like that, where you really think that there's an exciting move happening. There's what was Snows again, SNOU or something like that, but there's many different names. PLTU I think is one for Palantir. We don't have them all here, so no, that's not here either, and we don't have all of them. What's the Tesla one? LL, I think, is a double long, yeah. So, you know, so just for an example, I mean, I don't feel like you guys already know all about this, but see, this is down 3% right there, so that's TSLL. And if you actually go over to the big dog right here, Tesla, it should only be down 1.5% because this is a double, right? So don't make me look foolish. There it is. Okay, 1.5%. So there it goes. So that's the difference when you're talking about all this stuff. All right. So just briefly, I know we're going to go to Adara, but we've got to spin this first because here comes AMD. Let's take another out. We just taken out there at 50 again for AMD, and I say that because Adara could have China news, and we get a nice little bump up there for AMD. We are $1.70 in the money here for advanced micro devices. Adara, what's good over there?
China news, Sean, but I really don't think it's going to impact your AMD as far as I can tell. PDD, this was really the only name that moved even a little bit after we heard from the U.S. Trade Representative that they're extending certain exclusions from the China Section 301 tariffs. Now we're getting another part of this here. Apparently these exclusions have been extended through November 29th, 2025. So we have currently the extension of the exclusions, but things could change come November 29th. Again, we don't know if they will, but the idea is that they could. Back to you.
We always get all these extensions, right? It's like we get like a 90-day extension, and then we get this and that, and then, you know, we've got the taco trade with President Trump, and, you know, what kind of tacos you guys like? I like shrimp. Or the fish taco is also a very, very good taco there as well. But yeah, for more of these, you know, trade in information, all you're really doing, you're in the right spot here. Adara's got her ear to the ground. If there's any sort of a talk about anything, we'll look at different names. I mean, China name related, Alibaba possibly doing something there. I mean, down 2%. Not much going on actually in the Alibaba world right now, so we're going to have to wait to see if something ticks off there. But yeah, not. We talked about K-Web was another one. Oh, that was the other one, K-Web, that I didn't get a chance to go look at. We just looked at FXI and talked about the 50-period moving average and how well that's been holding, and kind of the same thing here for K-Web as well. Nice move there. These are the internet-based stocks. PDD is a big one there. BIDU, I guess Tencent there over there in the OTC market. So shout out to Jeffrey Mendel and company. We're excited to have him back on pretty soon as well. So, but yeah, Bitcoin in IBIT right now, just to give you guys a little bit of a different look right now. Bitcoin, IBIT, I think it had a high of about 13.4, 13.5 today, but a couple good little levels here. Just actually a really great trade if you've been scalping out today for Bitcoin. 64 and change, high end. I just actually wanted to see.
That is algo.
Yeah, I was going to say, whenever there's not, my Bitcoin, oh, there it is. I was going to say my Bitcoin chart. I think I have to fix this because I think now that we're in 4K, I got to go down to low quality. It still is.
Oh, yeah.
You don't need to watch it at 4K.
Don't tell me what to do, Fabian. Okay, I'm just playing around. Tell me exactly what to do.
No, because
all right.
Anyways.
Yeah. I'm just playing around. Okay, so yeah, someone said Ripple's about getting ready to go for a downside turn. Is it? I don't know. I'm trying to buy more. I'm actually sitting down here at 280 to see if we can get a little bit more. So what's up to everybody there? Let's just see what's.
Before you go.
Yeah, go.
Can you pull up the monthly on that?
Monthly? I don't know how to do that. Let me see. Daily. Yeah, 1 month.
Like there. The month, it's a huge candle, like this, because we're ending the month right now.
Yeah.
But like if you look at this, like the difference between like
one month to the next.
It's like if you close it,
only starting
closing it above 3 seems like monstrously bullish on that, because you have topping tail wicks at that $3. So if it pushes above, like technically speaking, that would be a pretty bullish close on the monthly chart. Anyways, that's just.
No, that's all good. No, thanks for doing that. That's why we're in it. Not that reason. I'm not that smart to do anything like that. what I know. Here's 220 right here. So here's a monthly chart on Solana. Same kind of feels right here, obviously, as you can see what Solana is trying to do now. It looks like a nice little upside play happening here for them as well. And they're really starting to get going. So I'd rather go to a daily chart here because we've been nailing this one. We're buying it all the way up. We just recently bought 200. We should have bought a little bit of those dip buys there. We bought this break right here of 2 bills. We had, I think it was right into here. We had to suffer a little bit as it comes back into the 50-period moving average. And then, again, shout out to my Uncle Bob. I mean, you know, once you get these trades going and Bob's your uncle, then it starts to work. So nice move there for Solana. And if you actually zoom back out, we've had higher levels here in SOL. So hopefully we can get, we're not shit out of luck, but SOL, the coin, up here to 260, 280. Nice move higher here. Solana looking to get going now, up 4.5% today. But the reason why I called this up was actually I wanted to look at Bitcoin and see how high did we get here today. We don't need this to tell us a daily chart, but we're going to use something a little bit less than that. So let's go into a 5-minute chart, see what we got to today. So 113.5, so nice little level there for BTC coming through today. So 113.5, hit it, respected it. Now we see what we can do on the downside. I like to look at maybe, let's go a little bit longer here, 45-minute chart. That's not even good enough. I want to go to a daily because I'm trying to get longer in Bitcoin. And we talked about 108 area, and I think that's, you know, we've already been down there. We bounced off of it. But bringing back in, now you have the 200 period at 101, 102. That to me feels a little bit safer. So waiting down into there, I think, to get a little bit longer, and I'll probably use IBIT to do that, or the Canadian one. But you know, into here, I just use wherever my money is, and right now, probably sitting on some more USD than CAD. So 1013, looking pretty healthy there for Bitcoin. I don't know when the next halving is or anything like that, but you know, I like Bitcoin. I think it's a store of value. I don't really care too much about its use case because I don't really think it's going to ever really have anything, because payment-wise, that's why you take XRP. Smart contracts is Ethereum and Solana.
Everything's built on it.
And Bitcoin, I mean, I've paid places with Bitcoin. I've paid a few things online.
It's the 21 million though.
That's what I mean. It's a store of value.
Yeah, it's a store of value because there's a control. Like everything else, we just get more and more of everything exponentially, and Bitcoin will have a finite number. So as long as people believe in it, right? Like as long as there is confidence in it, then the price goes up. It's just that simple. If you lose confidence in it, fine. But we get to do it. I get to draw another line on my Bitcoin chart because, and when we did this the last time, I wanted to zoom out. There you go. Prior high, break the high, put in the low, and it's basically now, we've now made a top end of the range effectively. So now that this has happened, for sure, if we lose this, if this move can't hold, like this, break this trend, slight downtrend from the all-time high, if that move can't hold, then breakdown here is a buy in the low 90s for sure, just has to get down there. And if we do break this trend, I think you want it in the low teens up into the high for Bitcoin. It's just once it makes a level, we tend to spend some time there. It chills out for a little bit, and we get a little bit of action inside of the range, sometimes like a month or two, and I think you could easily get that same thing. Joe Schmo says snow is finally thawing a bit. I mean, it can't go up all day.
Yes, it can.
Can it?
Yes.
Well, you know what? Apparently getting to $249.99 was just a little bit too much.
Yeah, too much.
A little bit too much. And considering it was at $200 at the close yesterday, that is nice symmetry. So it got more or less exactly-ish $50, 49 something, before pulling back for the first time. Anyone get a look at that level? Someone probably just sat there with a bunch of shares, and there were some people scalping the short in front of that 50 level. I would imagine the slippage could get nasty. It's not like, remember the other day, it was probably a few weeks ago, when Apple had that one high, I don't remember the exact price, and everyone was just a scalp short in front of it over and over again. It's very different doing that on, say, Apple, where liquidity is not a problem at a big monster level. And if you pull that same mess on Snowflake, thinking that the even dollar is going to be an easy out for you liquidity-wise, you might get a rude awakening when it breaks. So it's not that you can't short that or you wouldn't short that top. Obviously, it's working for anybody. But day traders tend to treat it a little bit differently when it happens on a more liquid name. So RIVN did take 50. I got 50 half. See, this is why sometimes, depending on your routing key, you actually can get, instead of getting slipped to 51, If it just hangs out right there and doesn't go, you end up getting like 50.5. But my stop is at the prior bar high, which is actually at 44. Let me just double check, because sometimes I screw it up and I just realized I had that off by 1 cent. So let me just fix the stop there. So stop is in. We'll see if this one can go. I tried to find the job posting online. It was on X, but it was speculation that they're getting into, robotaxi based on a higher there. And I like this. I like the look of this chart. The top end break is a day trade. I mean, obviously, this could be even bigger tomorrow. If it does nothing here off 1350, then you could break this tomorrow and have a bigger move. There's room to 14.5. You have the 50 and the 200 period moving averages making a bit of a bottom. Throw in the fact that the Russell's going because, heck, I mean, small cappers are doing well. Rate cuts are good for these guys because, let's be real, in this space, it's about how long can you last to be able to make money. If you're losing money in every single vehicle, it's like, okay, well, you need rates to come down because you're constantly needing more capital. And so that's a good thing for companies like RIVN here. Market's still going higher. I saw someone in the chat saying short Apple. It was like a question mark next to it.
Only Joe shorts Apple around here.
The only thing, I didn't really see what was going on at that top, but there could have been something happening here when it kind of failed this high break. So you could have been looking it down and it could have wicked this top. And maybe you saw something in here and there was an obvious seller at that high and you jump in and you take this little fill when it makes that false break, and then you're risking like 20 cents to short Apple, and then it makes that move down. So unless you have that short, my answer would be I'm not a huge fan of it. But if you see something like that, something really obvious, like it makes a high of the day break and then someone slams it, you see the tape and you jump in and you got really, really tight risk to the high, great. It also seemed it broke trend when it did this too. Like you would have had a trend break here, but that's like, to me, that's the short. This would have been, what time is it, like 2:09? So like right when we came back on. I wasn't looking at Apple at the time, but that's the kind of thing that you would be looking for. If I saw that same setup somewhere else, I would certainly have a look at the short as an opportunity. SoFi doesn't seem to be doing much of anything. It's sliding back in here. See if it can't get 26. Ooh. I don't know if I want to wait to VWAP, but that 26 is where the breakout was earlier, like breakout. And then it rallied again off the 26 level. So I want to see if that can pull back into 26 and find a bit of a long. And Alex says no short until September 9th. It makes sense. Sometimes you sell the news instead.
Apple, yeah, I wouldn't even short it in September 9th. Okay, so just quickly here, AMD, I got to start taking some more out. We came back into this area again, and it's above VWAP. The lines are pointing higher. I mean, I still think AMD has a lot of room to go higher right now. So I will take a piece out, and I know it's kind of like, if you think it's going to go higher, why are we taking some out? It's just, that's part of the game. I mean, we got to look at this thing, and I thought we did really good here waiting for it to break, and when it did, we got that top, and then it faded back out. Then we get some more outs right here. I don't necessarily want to add to this position. I just want to make sure that when we're topping out on the stock, and especially when we have, you guys are watching and looking at some of the trades, like Neil just got out of something there, Amazon, and is in RIVN, and we have our outs, right? But again, everybody completely different styles. Again, I've traded 3 symbols here today. Neil, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 symbols. So, and then even Sharif, I'll tell you how many Sharif traded. Sharif traded 6 symbols. Joseph, so there's lots of actions, what I'm saying, like no matter what style of trader you are, man, there's lots of different things happening. I don't think Joe and I are normally similar. He traded Tesla, the TQs, IBID, NVIDIA, and ETH, so he traded 4 or 5 names, and Adara normally has a few that she likes, and today Adara traded, 5 or 6 names as well, so we're all over the place. And then Obi today, not on the show, he and I are very similar, 2 trades for OB today. So 3 symbols for me, 2 for him, 9 for the guy on my right, and a bunch for everybody else. So again, hit the like, man, hit the subscribe, and thank you so much for being here every single day. Let's go have a quick look at what kind of stocks you guys want us to trade. We can't be here without you, so let me have a quick little look. Well, we could be. Let's have a quick little look on what's been popping right now for everybody. So Neil's covered SOGP a little bit.
Halted up again.
Halted up again, so yeah, about that stock going down, I guess not.
It halted down twice.
Yeah, but now it's what, $16 or something? We'll have a look at SOGP. Oh, there it is, right there. I'm looking at Neil's screen when I see it right there. 1608 right now, SOGP. Wow, banger to say the least. NVIDIA on earnings. I made this call yesterday, live on the show. that it was not a play to get involved with options or anything like that with NVIDIA. I did not think it was going to move that 6%. I thought everything was baked in. I didn't expect any kind of news on China. I mean, we talked about it. Just look at yesterday's show an hour ago, 24 hours ago. But that's the play right there. Tesla today, we had the short. My biggest P&L name today is going to be AMD, but we really do like this Tesla play there that we had on. And then tonight when we talk about earnings, I sort of went over a little bit of Webull and what I was expecting there from Webull. I do like that 14 bid. We'll see if it can get going. Out at 18, I'll probably put an offer at some point at $18 tonight even. So if it does run up there, we're able to get some out before that happens. Last night we had something called Marry Me Chicken. I married my wife because of the person she is, but I'd marry her again for the chicken. Marry Me Chicken last night, and we had some spaghetti on the side with it. Tagliatella, I believe, so right there, so shout out to that. Marvell, you guys know I just recently bought some Marvell in my long-term account there today. I have it in the swing as well. We bought it in the RRSP today, so I like Marvell. I think the silicon, everything, a lot of good talk there from NVIDIA, obviously about demand and everything. It still seems to be there, so I'm gonna ride the coattails in that trade with Marvell. And then Snowflake, wow, you know, I said yesterday, I got out at $200 of Snowflake. I'll have to check. If I have anything, it's like 10% left. I don't have a big piece on Snowflake, but there it is up there, 245 today, up 22% for Snowflake. So the big name that's leading the way, and Niels called it up, and he told me that it was halted. So it is. So there it is right now. If you are stuck in this halt, congratulations, because you're hopefully long and you can short this thing.
Oh God, if you're short this thing.
You probably got to pay for short, so I don't know.
I'm willing to bet it's probably the most expensive short that we've had in months.
Okay, so look to see. Well, yeah,
oh no, but
bullish was expensive.
There was one. Yeah,
you know what?
1 month. SPET, I remember, also was like $44 at one point for
Which one?
one lot. So for context,
which stock, Adara?
That can't be right.
SPET.
It's basically it's free. That's dangerous. It's literally it's free for us. 20 cents for 100 shares. I just went to check. It is less than 1 cent per share. It's 1/5 of 1 cent per share. Usually, if a stock goes 330% on this kind of volume, like the demand for the pay for shorts at a prop firm for us, like through our broker, would be going up alongside with it. This is not, there's not enough data points to prove this one way or another, but anecdotally, we've certainly seen that sometimes when the price gets exorbitant, when the price starts going up and gets exorbitant, then that means it can be on the back end of a trade. We saw that with HKD. That was a pretty good example of one. There was another one last year that was very similar, that it wasn't until it got parabolic, then the big unwind happened when all of a sudden it went from like really cheap to short to just incredibly expensive. So SOGP is now, how many minutes away? Seconds away from reopening, everybody. And when that opens up, enjoy the ride, everybody. I'm not going to be trading it. I'm certainly not going to, whatever. As free as it is, I'm still not paying for them because I'm not gonna trade it. But Darth Trader, shout out to you, Darth Trader. And it opens and instantly down. So no halt down though. It went from 16 to 14.20. That's just about 10%, and then bounced right off. It's like it's bouncing off halt bands to the downside. You got in Snow at 231, Mongo at 303. You got out way too early. I could be 30 in the money. What gets you to hold on to runners like these longer? If you have a win going after earnings, there's nothing that, to me, I have a set amount that I want to sell in front of earnings, right? Like with SOFI, I'm like, okay, it's ran into earnings. I know what it usually does. I'm selling 10%. And then when it failed the high a second time, I'm going to sell another 10%. Like I have a set amount that I want to sell in front of those earnings, knowing that I'm going to let the rest ride. So on Snowflake, like, I don't know, again, I don't know, like you said you got in at 231, so you took this breakout trade. It's a blue sky setup. I tend to only look for trails, like trailing stops on these. And if it was a swing trade, I can't imagine getting out of everything on day one. I can understand why you'd sell some at 250 and some at 240. If it was a pure day trade, I would have been out of it too. Like that trail probably would have got me out, and if that didn't, then I would have broken trend in here as well. But on a breakout at 230, I'm almost certainly going to get trailed out somewhere in here in that 237, 238 range. But if it's a swing trade, that's a little bit different. You know, you should have a target amount. Like, how much am I selling on day one? How much am I selling at this price area? With a day trade, you can put a trail and just say, I'm getting out of it because I'm day trading it. But if you got a swing trade on, the plan of action before is going to be the key there. But Snowflake's been a banger. Like, it wasn't that crazy a prediction to know that Snowflake was going to move around a lot more and give you more opportunity to the upside than NVIDIA. And I think you could make the same argument. You know, Marvell's probably going to move more than NVIDIA too. And it might not even be the biggest mover.
More than NVIDIA. Huh.
Oh, of course. But it's just more volatility. Affirm's probably going to move a ton tonight. I'm not sure off the top of my head what the expected move is on Affirm. But even this name, as we load up, like, this is coiling for a little something here on Affirm. Rising tides lift all ships. Affirm is trying to make a break of its 52-week high as well. Like, you don't think that looks like an appealing breakout if they beat tomorrow, regardless of what you happen to think about the company, right? So what are we looking at here for Affirm?
Yeah, you tell me what you think. Over under 12.5. You come to the screen here. What do you think? We'll talk about it tomorrow. We'll make a call and we'll see.
I was kind of hoping it would be like 8.
If you're hoping it was 8, then you think under maybe. I don't know what it.
Yeah, I'm going to lean under. I was thinking more like I'll go
that's
under.
reasonable. I'll go over on that one. We have let's do this. We have Autodesk 12.5. I don't know that much about that stock, but I feel like automation's pretty hot right now. I would think Autodesk's going to go over that 12.5, probably to the upside. Actually, pretty excited about that one. Marvell's 9.5. So you are 100% right about that being more than NVIDIA. NVIDIA's was going out at only 6% yesterday, so that's good. Dell 8, I feel like Dell 8 is a little high.
Oh, Sentinel.
Sentinel, again, another security name. So there you go, Neil. This is your opportunity.
Well, we'll see. If it's the same pattern.
Yeah, exactly. So if it's a downside play there for Sentinel 1, we'll see there. Ulta Beauty, 6.7%. Damn, man, I missed the boat on that one. I wish we had some Ulta Beauty there.
Wait, there's no, we don't have any expected numbers on
Webull? No, we don't. We don't have any EPI. They're not making any money.
No, I know they're not making.
So we have an implied move of 8%. Well, they don't. Yeah, there's not even any revenue estimates or anything. I'm a little bit shocked that I'm so invested in Webull, but right there, that's 8% move. I'm going to go under 8% on Webull. So for me, the big one would be Autodesk there. And, you know, retail's been pretty bumping lately as well. So I think we'll have to watch out for Ulta Beauty. But at the end of the day, you're going to wait for Adara and myself. I will be there tonight with a big market recap show, man. It's going to be huge with all these names just coming through and reporting. So we're excited to bring you all of that later on tonight. And I know Adara's going to come with something right now, but here it is. We're now $2 in this club right now with AMD. So I will take an opportunity to get out at 69er. We'll put it there as we get to fill there as it runs us over a little bit. So nice play there for advanced micro devices. And like I said, man, every little bit up. And to answer the question in the chat, I don't have a very good idea either of how to hold these things. I just try to, you know, wait for it, have some fun with you guys, look back, see the net, and then trade it off of key levels. So yeah, I wish I could hold the majority of the position a little bit longer than I do, but you know, that's what it is. So, all right, let's go back over to Adara and figure out what she's up to.
Hey, we will get that implied earnings infographic soon. We're going to take a moment to thank our friends at Woman Boss, because empowered women change the world, and you can help make it happen. The Woman Boss trains and mentors women and girls across Africa to lead, innovate, and thrive. And since 2018, we've reached over 10,000 women and girls, and your donation today can help launch the next great entrepreneur. So scan that QR code on your screen now and join us in building a brighter future. Back to you.
Absolutely.
Now.
Yes.
Like that
join us
emphasis
now.
on now. Right now. NVIDIA wants Sean to win the bet. What bet? Oh, the lower? Yeah. So I just said red today because I didn't like this. We made that prediction earlier. We were near the all-time high, and I just kind of felt like we probably would have taken it out. Like, I also had a bid to break through here. I think it was 180. I don't know what the all-time high. Hold on, let me check it out.
It was 184.50 something. 60?
Yeah, because it went to 49 today.
It got real close.
Yeah, 48. 184 here on our e-signal chart actually has the implied move right there, and it was right into, you can't see that, but it's 184.48. So there was a move there in again. So yeah, congratulations to NVIDIA, and we went right up to the exact penny today. and rejected. That was 180, well, we have 184.92. That's not going to be accurate, but it was right there. 184.47 is what we have. And I have on the high, which was made back in early August, of 184.48. We came a penny away from breaking the all-time high of NVIDIA. And yeah, so anyways, I had that long going, but I just felt like this initial move down, Jensen wasn't really able to save it too much with his talk. So I just thought red on momentum. I don't know, and I think I'll probably lose this bet now, not a bet, but that prediction. You're above VWAP, you're above the 200 period moving average. You are getting a little dip down here in the futures, but if the Nasdaq wants to continue higher, good for it, man. We are still that $2. I chose violence with AMD today, and that was basically it, man. We went with what we know, and AMD was the #1 stock here yesterday, #1 stock here today, and probably tomorrow. So we'll just keep on doing that. When you find some luck and not luck, I don't call it luck, when you find some success in a name and you're really reading it well, stay there. You know, if you're betting the totals on the NFL and you're crushing it, stay with totals. Don't go to lines, right? So this is what I continue to do. And yeah, that's why we keep it very, very tight. I know what I'm looking for, and I've only traded 3 names. So it's about being specific for me and looking for those opportunities. And today they existed in AMD. And I thought we had a good trade in NVIDIA early there when we sort of thought we caught that bottom, but it was no longer the bottom as it kept on going higher. So, or lower. It went higher first. We got $1.50 and then it broke there into the low side of things. So, all right. So yeah, Webull, I don't know. We talked a little bit about earnings today. Neil's just in RIVN. I don't know if that's moving around or not.
It's still at the high. It's just not really doing much off that high break there. Someone was just mentioning Bill in the chart or in the chat, so I was kind of going over that name to see what was going on with Bill. But when it comes to opportunities, like you never want to, don't sleep on having scanners up. I know we talked about like eSignal. You saw me looking around at eSignal as well. I just realized I didn't have like earnings on my chart. So as you were doing it, I'm like, oh yeah,
nice.
Make sure I put that on there.
That wasn't earnings. Those are just high and lows.
Well, you can put dividends and all that.
Oh yeah.
No, it was more along the lines, I had done it before, but for whatever reason, it didn't save. So I just wanted to make sure I had that in, because it just makes the life a little bit easier for you. So shout out to eSignal for that. No, but when you never know what opportunities are going to come around. Like yesterday, we anticipated that Walgreens might be good, but I didn't know that that would be #1 at the close. Who knows? And maybe there's something that shows up today in about 40 minutes or so when the imbalances come. I have no idea. There's nothing expected to be big like Walgreens was for everybody, because Walgreens deal closed, it got deleted. I believe Foot Locker closes next month. I don't think it'll be Walgreens is much, much bigger, right? Like Walgreens is just, when you have an index action, the size of the company matters a heck of a lot. Right, so the amount of shares that need to get done. So Foot Locker is not going to be as big of a deal, but if you get even a fraction, then that would still be good. No, Bill's up 18% today.
Yeah, earnings
and this is the thing, like earnings continuation, you never want to sleep on that day 2, especially when it might be a little bit exhausted getting into $50 here, but I feel safe saying you have a bottom that's come in. You're now post earnings above the 50 period. You just need to break away from this 50 area. Makes sense that it would be a little bit troublesome to get through it today. Look, it's not really moving all that much. But if you can hold and take that 50 tomorrow, that looks good for sure. SOFI, it doesn't seem like it wants to hold this 26 very well. It's still dropping in here. Like what I would like to see here, when we had the long, it was on the way up at 26, and now that it's on the way down, the last time it broke 26, got to 25.85, I actually tried shorting it here, and then it broke out. So I had to make a bit of a rounded bottom, make a bit of a bottoming tail candle. Like I want to look for a spot where okay, I'm getting in, and that's my in. And that hasn't happened yet on SOFI. So still a little bit of weakness going on here. Love to see it do the rounded bottom, the buyers start to emerge at 26 before we try to go back into this name. SOFI, love the name, up 4%. It wouldn't be crazy. It wouldn't be crazy to say that you have a bit of a double top in here, but for now, the momentum is strong. And if the buyers can come back in at that 26 level, that's what I'm looking for in particular. Anything else that you guys are watching? I think we've covered most of the names in here today. Maybe not as much, I don't think anybody's really traded Snowflake outside of whoever in the chat said they were shorting 250. Congratulations if you did. I don't know. it's a nice round number, certainly, but 21% on Snowflake. I think this is a prime day 2 play. Because that 230 breakout was a relatively clean. I don't want to say it was perfectly clean, but it was relatively clean. And the other thing is it was much larger than the expected move. Almost double the expected move is the real story. So you got some people caught offside with this one, and we really didn't take its foot off the pedal. Ladera?
A couple different stories in watch here. Keep an eye on TTD. TTD actually bouncing here, but Business Insider, I guess, reporting Amazon's plans to clobber rivals like the Trade Desk and Google in specific advertising areas. Again, the Trade Desk do not at all seem to care about this story, but worth noting regardless. NVIDIA on watch here too. Apparently CEO Jensen Huang is saying that conversations with the White House with regards to allowing Blackwell chip sales in China could, quote, take a while. Again, nothing that's super shocking, but either way, NVIDIA on watch as Jensen Huang, CEO, concedes that these Blackwell conversations are not going to happen overnight. Back to you.
180.50 right there, and that was part of it as well. So my daughter goes from the rink to getting her hair done, and this is where all my money goes. Whoopsies, is into this one here. So there. Whoops, why isn't that coming down? It's frozen. My computer, man, I need to do something about it. There it is right there. No, but I minimized.
Oh, you did? Oh.
I didn't minimize it, but there you go. This is her Boston hockey shirt as well. So yeah, there she is right there, coming home from getting her hair did. Just 2 weeks ago. So shout out to her. Obviously, you can tell she gets her looks from my beautiful wife. So thank you for, exactly, Rob. That is, and no more lucky of a guy around here than I, that is for sure. All right, so there we go. Shout out to you, my wife, and my lovely daughter. And my son is at Canada's Wonderland. And we actually tweeted out here. You want to show a picture? I mean, I think naturally, I'm more over on social media than everybody else, so I have obviously more pictures up. But here we go, right here. There it is. Here's my son right here as well. So there we go. We went golfing, and he's at Canada's Wonderland today, 13 years old, enjoying life as well. Here's Oasis concert. That was a hell of a lot of fun as well. So that was awesome. There's Rogers Stadium. There's my wife, and here we are right here. It was just a lot of fun just starting out. They sort of had that.
What's it like getting out? Because everyone keeps saying that
over 50,000.
The first concert they were having like.
That's what I was at. I was at the first one.
Like, how was that like getting out at the?
No, it was fine. Yeah, that's what I was telling everybody. Like, I thought it was.
It's all that nonsense in the news about.
Yeah, the news is the news, right? I mean,
yeah,
if you listen
exactly.
to the news too much, then you thought COVID was going to kill everybody. Okay, so here we go. NVIDIA. So we're still on this AMD tip. Yeah, no, it was fine. So here in Toronto, they built this in. We have Downsview as basically an old runway up there, and they put a huge stadium. They had Coldplay for 4 shows, 2 shows, maybe 4 shows. They had Oasis for 2 shows. I'm not sure. My Chemical Romance, I think, was there.
But there was like it was like a residential area adjacent to it, and
yeah, there's a K-pop. Oh well, yeah, it's really for TTC. It's super easy. You can get there's Downsview Station is 8-minute walk. Yeah. So it was really easy for that. But yeah, we're spoiled here in Toronto because most of the concerts are either at the Rogers Centre, which is right downtown, or Scotiabank as well, which is right downtown, formerly Air Canada Centre. So, or Budweiser Stage, which is the best place to watch many concerts. And look, I believe in obviously living your life. So get out there, man, enjoy all of that. That's why we do all the, I mean, you hear Neil and I talk about it all the time. We have,
experiences, man.
Playoffs, baseball, sports, all the experiences, the whale watching, all of that, going on dates with your wife, everything. Do it, man. Do the best you can, because we just don't sit here for fun. I'm here trying to make it, well, I sit here for fun, but trying to make a little bit of money to support everybody out
That's
there.
why we go to K-pop sing-alongs, man.
Yeah, exactly.
And when the next one, whatever the next hot craze comes out, I don't know what Netflix has in store, but if the daughter likes that one, then we're on that one too. And it literally doesn't matter. Whatever they're into is always going to be fun. That's the thing. Like, you just, at a certain point, you just sort of live vicariously with and through your kids. Just very quickly, I'm glad you reminded us about this. Garrett Stevenson. Thoughts on Lucid's 1 for 10 reverse split? You know what? We don't look at Lucid very often, so I actually didn't remember because we don't really look at the stock too often. But generally speaking, remember what the pattern tends to be. Like a reverse split, like you're not reverse splitting for usually good reasons, right? So typically you'll have it reverse split and then it'll be like $20. Just remember the reference price. Most platforms will still give you the proper percentage up and down if they do it right, so you'll have an idea. A lot of times that'll be a temporary high. Now, I'm only bringing up Mullen because I like to make, I forget who said this, but sometimes it can be effective to make a simple point with an extreme example because it really, oh, that's right, it's not Mullen anymore. You know what? It's not Mullen anymore, it's BINI, but the chart of Mullen is the best example I can find of what oftentimes happens with a reverse split, like reverse split, and then that is the high. Now, the other side of the coin, if you get a reverse split and then it pulls back, but then within a relatively reasonable time period breaks out that high, that can be a good squeeze trade for that day. So I think if you're looking bullish on Lucid, not necessarily day one, but if it kind of pulls back on day 1, 2, 3, and then makes a bottom, and then breaks out the high after the split, that can be a good trade, but only for a very short period of time. And of course, Mullen is now Bollinger, and this is going to go down to 10 cents. I think usually it's about like 10 cents or 20 cents when these guys do their reverse split. So they changed their name and then did the same thing, and this is it again. So it'll probably go down underneath 20 pennies and then do another reverse split because that's what they do. Lucid's not that bad. But suffice to say, I will not be buying the stock unless it's some kind of a day trade through that high. And then we got another one here from Chris Landrum. Thoughts on AFRM tonight? What did we say that was? 12?
12, yeah, 12.8, yeah, something like that.
When I look at this one, it's not that it's the same thing. It's nothing to do with NVIDIA, but how many times we see this where there's like this hard level that people are selling, and when there's like a hard level that's getting sold here, I tend to get a little bit more antsy. So I was thinking the under on that 12%, like maybe you're a high single digits if it goes to the upside, because it's going to have to chew through a lot to get through this 81 to 82 level, and then maybe it gets some exhaustion. But that's just simply based on the pattern that's emerging here, where there's a lot of selling at that $80 level here on AFRM. Like it's also, like it's up so big from the Liberation Day lows. I don't know. I could be biased against AFRM. Maybe that's it. But I'm feeling the under on that 12%. I think if it has a good print, I'm just feeling more like 8 to 10 based on this chewed up 80 that it has. That said, if it gets above here, you're still looking for continuation on a long. If it breaks out that 52-week high. RIVN is very slowly going into the upside. And just to reaffirm, because someone just asked for it, that Lucid split's effective tonight. So, when you come in tomorrow morning, don't be surprised when Lucid's a $20 stock. You didn't make any money. It's just reverse split.
Right now, it's officially at $2 upside right here as 169 coming into play. Only now 30 minutes until we get some more reports tonight, and then we'll look to see which names we look to trade tomorrow. But yeah, there goes AMD. Huge move back there to the upside. We haven't looked all afternoon at Palantir. So 158, good level there, it looks like, for Palantir. Again, a stock that, near and dear to my heart, obviously. We've talked about that many times. But 158, good top. Palantir still, to me, it doesn't have it right now. There's lots of stock here in various companies, and it just Palantir right now for me, just not really printing for a day trading stock. I mean, we've had a huge move. It's okay, but this huge move to the downside there, and then battled back, and it's just right now it's kind of just doing its own thing here, Palantir. So I'm going to leave this alone. I mean, the market's pulling back in. I would expect this to as well. Underneath the Nasdaq right now, Nasdaq up 0.6 versus Palantir 0.4. The S&P 500 all-time highs today, 0.32 right now for PLTR. Quick little check, man. I think Citigroup is probably the best value as far as a bank is concerned, with book value, the lowest right now, price to book, but huge move on Citigroup, huge move on all of these banks, man. This was, again, almost a double up from those bottoms, huge. You wouldn't have thought that with Citigroup or some of these banks, but they do continue to lead the way. And JP Morgan, ooh, we are getting close, man. So JP Morgan's a funny story because we had actually bought it the first time right here on the 200 period moving average, let it go all the way up to 250. And then I was like, yeah, how far could this thing actually go down with all this tariff talk, right? Can't go down that far. and then it went all the way through, and we actually had a red trade, obviously. We'd have many red trades, but this one went against us, and I told you, we had too many shares. Like, I actually was a little nervous about it, but I don't know. Like everything else, it just kept on going back there to the upside. So JP Morgan right now at all-time highs, and I think looking great here. So I do have an offer to get out of 15% at 303. So when that hits, hopefully tomorrow, we'll be able to get out of that. And I do have to make sure that that is, I had to put it back in today because it canceled, and I only put like a week or two on it when the last time it was up here. So up in here, and that canceled. So now I got to figure out if I put what the duration is on that order. But I do like that play. Yesterday we had some, I don't know if it was a garbage report or not, but I had said that I thought it was actually a good report for PayPal, that, you know, the German government and all that was so concerned about some of those transactions. Obviously I can understand the selling yesterday in PayPal, as many traders were nervous that, hey, maybe this is sort of the canary in a coal mine, whereby the fact that if PayPal's having these issues with Germany, what's up with other EU nations, what's up with the UK, Canada, US, all of that, and what does that mean for PayPal? But I guess it's been patched up, or whatever those issues were, because right now you're up 0.76. So yesterday you did get an opportunity to buy some PayPal on the cheap, on those notes, down there $67, $68. So this is what I'm saying. Even if you don't like companies, there is opportunity to scalp in and out, and PayPal was another one of those great opportunities today to get out of whatever long you took yesterday. So yeah, market up 0.63, still trying to go. NVIDIA is not doing anything, neither is AMD right now. And then the love for Apple seems to be pretty strong. I mean, I know Joe on the midday wasn't loving Apple, but you know that I am. And Apple right now looking like—
I thought he owned Apple.
Nah, I think he's short. He did, and then he flipped, and now he's short, and he's wondering about it. These guys, I think also bought Ethereum near the highs. I know Apple's been, Ethereum's been on these guys' minds for a while. And Ethereum's been actually a pretty good play, ETHA. I don't know what the high is on the stock here, 3650-ish or so. So you're actually down about 10% now, well, almost 10%. On that play right there, downside. It's funny, man. Money can evaporate so fast.
I wanted to answer a question. Someone asked something about Lucid in the chat. First off, it actually might be the close tomorrow. Whatever it is on Lucid, whether it's at the close and then effective on Monday, it's not a big deal. But with regards to fractional shares, because now you can have 10 shares or less than 10 shares, I suppose, of Lucid. My understanding, and check with your broker on this, but my understanding is if you own less than 10 shares and it's a 1-for-10 reverse split, that like you don't get less than one share. They just kind of cash you out whatever the value of the fractional share would be. So if it's like 0.7, whatever it is, they give you the cash value because they're not going to give you less than the one share. So that's my understanding. Check with your broker on that, and if that's the case, then you probably get +2, T+2, so you wait a couple of days, and then you should see that in your balance. That's just my understanding, but you should always check with your broker. Remember something, and this is actually important. Your broker works for you. No matter how big or small your account is, their job is to answer that question for you, answer it promptly, and make sure you get the right information. So you should never, it's fine. Like we're here because we want to the best of our ability, we want to give you the answers when we have them and give all the knowledge that we happen to have over the years. But it's your broker's job. And certainly never hesitate if there's something you feel that you should be getting that you're not or that doesn't make sense, then they have a responsibility to get those answers to you for sure. So you're welcome, Alexa. We're always here. And there's no such thing as a bad question. And if if you want to ask a question in this chat, it's not just myself or Sean or Adara or anyone, Obi, Sharif, Joe, Brendan. It's not just us. We have a great community here that I promise you our trading community has more knowledge than you're going to find in a lot of places. So if you haven't done so, hit the like, hit the subscribe. It's a subs-only chat. Sometimes you'll throw a question in here, and I'll go to answer it, and like 5 of our regulars have already answered the question, and they've done a fantastic job of doing it. So that's what it's all about. And as James Choi just said here, balances are in about 15 minutes, but the early look, I can tell you, not much of anything. Penny stock, PCG is going to be in there. I mean, SGov, like just early look, very, very small names, nothing gigantic, but we didn't know how big Walgreens was going to be until about 350, and then all of a sudden that was crazy. Let's go up to Adara at the desk.
keep an eye here on these expected earnings moves. We talked about them a little bit on the desk, of course, with Neil and Sean. But here's an exact look at this. Is almost every name reporting tonight. It's not every name, but it's pretty darn close if you look at the earnings lineup. Autodesk, Ambarella, Marvell, Dell, Sentinel One, Ulta Beauty, Affirm, IRN, Gap, and Webull. These are all of our earnings names. There's a couple others that are not on this list, but here's all of the closely watched ones. Smallest expected move here is still about 6.7%. That'd be Ulta Beauty. The largest belongs to Affirm, perhaps not surprisingly, but you can check out all of these on X at TTV Research. I also posted earlier today specific infographics for Affirm and Dell and their revenue performance, historically speaking. Again, X at TTV Research for all of your infographic needs. And if, as Neil said, if there's anything that you'd like to see on this X account that you're not seeing, any specific type of analysis you'd like, always tag me in the chat. And if I see it, I'll definitely add it to my list. Back to you.
I don't think.
No, it doesn't.
Earnings, but we'll double check it all. And like Adara said, get them in there and we'll. GME?
Oh, no, not GME.
That's not till September.
GAP, yeah, Gap, yeah. Yeah, we'll get Gap, formerly GPS, of course. So get your GPS systems out there right now. Okay, more outs. We just got more out there on AMD as we wait for these imbalances to come out in just 15 minutes. We'll see what's going on. Thanks, Adara, for that. We did talk a little bit about Netflix today as well. As we're talking about K-pop Demon Hunters and everything. Both my kids absolutely love that show, and Neil was talking about going to the theaters. But there it is, man. Netflix up 0.6 right now, and even for myself, I like the content that's on Netflix. We watching that wrestling show. My kids will be watching Superstore. So there's a few good older shows that continue to be replayed there. All right, so Netflix, nice move. Still below. I don't know if it's time yet. You're gonna have lots of opportunities to buy this name, I feel like, moving forward. But as we go, Netflix right now, still underneath the 50-period moving average. You're always waiting for this 200 period, and you might have waited too long. I don't know if you got that opportunity to get there, but came about $100 away from that level there, Netflix. The name that's near the 200-period moving average that I wanted to pick up, but again, I keep on thinking that this market is a little heated and that we maybe are going to the downside at some point, and I can get even a better price in Costco, but Costco just spiked up the last couple of days. I was hoping that we'd get to the downside. We showed you the monthly chart or the daily chart on this one, and it's the difference with this is, and we just were talking about it, it's broken that 200 period and is sloping down 50. So right now it looks broken, and I'm actually waiting for these wicks down here in and around 900. So I was hoping for a couple more negative days in Costco, and then I could try to pick something up. I want to just buy best of breed everything.
It's similar to Walmart. The only difference.
But, the way the stock looks?
Well, the chart, like the pullback from the highs, right? Similar space. It's not the same thing, but these are probably the two best, or have been anyways. But this one's holding that 200-period moving average. And the thing about that, I always talk about this for an indicator. It's how much has it respected it? It hasn't actually. The last time it tested the 200-period, it broke it down underneath. So it's not like this stock hasn't been bouncing off the 200-period. It hasn't been respecting the 50-period either. So for me, for this, I got to pull up a higher time frame. Sorry, our charts. When I want to go quickly to a higher time frame, I go to eSignal. Shout out to them. Well, I'm looking at the weekly chart. Where on the weekly chart, this respects the 50-period moving average. And that sits right here at about 92.5. So I've been trying to patiently wait. It double topped, right? That's fine. It already dipped once on the weekly here and managed to hold. So I'm looking for this Walmart. Dip into that weekly chart. If it holds, then we buy. If it doesn't, then I wait for 80 to come in again. I'm not selling anything on the stock. I'm just looking for an opportunity to get more. This is one name I said, if we get dips in this stock this year, I don't want to buy on the way up. I just think it got a little bit overheated. It's a little expensive. I only want to try to catch it on the way down. But it's that 50 period on the time frame where it actually matters. You saw it be useless on the 50 on the daily chart, but on a weekly chart, much more significant there for sure. Save man woman, that's a nasty chart. Which one's nasty? Walmart's a nasty chart? I think it looks pretty good. It looks pretty good, no? I think it looks all right.
Walmart? Yeah, I think it's fine.
It looks good. Maybe you weren't talking about Walmart.
They're not talking about Walmart. I think Walmart's a good stock. All right, so yeah, those of you that are in Walmart would know it's been good, and
pretty good.
You sleep easy with some of those stocks, right? Knowing that they're not going to have huge moves one way or the other.
Well, it's like Webull. Imagine this. If I hadn't taken anything out, or let's say you hadn't taken anything out on Webull,
right?
Off of that $10 hold here. I don't know, like would if I had taken no profit off of this in front of $10 when it made the spike into 17, 18, how good would I feel about it going into the earning? Well, I probably not as good as you would if you've already made sure that you banked, so it's not going to rinse you here. It's the same thing with like Viking. The reason why you take profits, VKTX. That's the only chart you need. I mean, I could probably show other things. It's the only chart you need. Like, look at this thing. There's it holding the 50-period moving average. There's it breaking out of the 50-period moving average. Well, ask yourself a question. When the hold at the 50-period was at like $32 here, where it consolidated above, maybe you have it at 27. I don't know. When it breaks out the channel above is generally speaking what I think it's a buy, but it doesn't really matter. If you didn't take anything out when it spiked up and just gave you a move into $60, now what? Like, you'd just be out of the money. Like, all of that gain gone because you didn't sit there and try to take any profit on a ridiculously volatile name with a downward sloping chart. But you sleep easy on a stock where it's just upward sloping forever, because then you don't have to worry about it as much, or in the same vein. So when you're when I'm playing longs in stocks that look like this, I know where my orders are going out. If it gets there, you get taken out and it goes 2x from there, who cares? Because you know what can happen in the other direction. What usually happens is that the stock trends down. So you got to make sure you take that profit where you can. The market's, it's the afternoon, and the market's not doing a heck of a lot in here, but it is trying to rally. Well, trying to hold on to a little bit of this rally that we've had. Just checking back in. Like RIVN, 350, it went 55, now it's trying to go 60. Just slow grind up. I think this has a chance to accelerate, maybe not today, but on the higher time frame, RIVN here, I like what's going on. It seems to make this bottom of $10, $11, like Randy always says. I hope he actually got into this because he said he was going to buy down here, and seems to have trouble when it gets above 15 bucks. But so far, so good for RIVN. If I had to pick, I'd pick this one over Lucid, but like, you're splitting hairs. Like, either way, you're at the shot play, and you're really just hoping that they'll be able to, play out the string to profitability. Right? You can't lose money making cars forever. That's weird. It doesn't work that way. And for every Tesla or for every BYD, there's always a host of other names that don't make it.
Okay, yeah, no, 100% right about all of this stuff here. As we talk more about, I don't like the reverse split to me for that. So that would be another one there. Ford and all these stocks also continue to go upside a little bit there for maybe the car company's not as bad as we thought. I did want to have a quick check-in on the broader markets one more time, just to have a quick little look here, as there's many names that many of you are invested in. So let's just have a quick little look-see here on some of them. So, all right, Berkshire upside. We talked about the strength sort of in the financials. It looks like we're, sort of picking on some different ones. CME downside, but it looks like they're traditional money center banks upside with Bank of America, JP Morgan there, Bank of America, Goldman Sachs, and again, more of the deal-making banks, Morgan and Goldman coming into their Capital One. Again, credit card names going through there. AXP up another 1.3%, so that continues to be a nice story there for American Express, Visa, so on and so forth, continue to be pretty strong. All right, so health technology. This is really the red sector from what I can see here anyways today, and that's Pfizer, some Gilead coming through, shout out to Handsmaid Tale. BMY there, 1.8% to the downside. Bristol Myers coming through. Eli Lilly taking a little bit of a break today, only down 0.45%, so some Eli Lilly love there as well for many traders. Loving Eli Lilly these days. J&J, get out of here, CIC Markets, whatever that is. 0.59 there for them. So NVIDIA, Jensen's speaking right now, and it's just, he's just talking about China and waiting for these approvals, waiting for different interests. He's talking about being able to sell them into China now. We already know that story. I'm watching it. It's not doing anything. No. We had a question about NEE. So some of these utility names today. Constellation continues up 1.3. Southern there, down 1. We looked at some of the XLE, and it was up, so maybe it's not up anymore. But these are utility names that will, again, carry debt, which may not be that great as we get some lower rates, should be helping for them. But the interest rates still pretty large, so we'll find out about that. Energy Transfer is here as well. So some of these names that generally don't move that well with tech names are these utility names. So when you get the Nasdaq near all-time highs, there's a lot of traders looking to get in and out of some of these tech names, so some of these utility names, because they've been on such nice rides. So there's your Vistra. You talked about Vistra. I mean, that chart has been pretty hot fire as well. Like, this was $100 back in April, now 197. So yeah, I can see some profit taking in the utility space as, again, it's all about sector rotation. And right now, I think you can get back into rate cuts, positivity in the space. I like tech again. I think tech can continue to work, and we've seen that in some of these stocks here today. What's up, Adara?
Talk here about NVDA. As Sean mentioned, we do have NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang right now speaking on Fox Business. He said that some comments here are of interest. He did say that he's estimating $3 to $4 trillion worth of AI factory infrastructure building out over the next decade. He said that also, I think this is key, whatever it takes to get approval with regards to being able to ship those chips is fine with him. It's in their best interest, Huang says, to be able to sell in China, and that they also do have some H20 units built for the quarter if China does order, but apparently he hasn't seen any orders come in from China as of yet. Back to you.
The first thing that came to my mind is like, yeah, get it, Caterpillar. You know what's up there. That's another stock at some 52-week highs. But shout out to Rusty Dutch. Ooh. If NVIDIA is the market's canary in the coal mine, we got clear instruction to keep digging today.
Yes, you did.
Yes, in this particular case, digging would be good, right? Usually digging yourself a hole is not a good thing in these terms, but in this particular case, I do agree with you there. I was going to throw GEV up when you were talking there, but then you mentioned Adara, sorry, mentioned that story, and you got to like Caterpillar possibly breaking out. That's a good name. I like that name. In terms of non-tech stocks, for myself, like, I want Walmart to be up there with, for myself, for Eli Lilly and Caterpillar, and it's not. That's why I'm trying to buy more Walmart on dips, because I want it to be like the two biggest non-tech names in my portfolio. I don't include Bitcoin or anything like that, are Caterpillar and Eli Lilly. But G Vernova, this was not the dip that I was looking for. I'll be the first to admit. I was one that was selling some at the top and feeling like it was going to be a bit of a bigger pullback, and thought some of that risk would have been, if NVIDIA scared us, I thought this stock could be down in the 500 range. Instead, it bounces off the 50 period. Probably a little frothy for this name, but you know, I'll try to find a way back in because I want to be full position on in this. You don't always want to be selling things, and ultimately sometimes you get a happy accident. The happy accident in this particular case was I owned a lot of GE shares from back in the day, a boring stock. Mm-hmm. And then these guys, no, it's just, to be honest, it's like, I just got lucky.
I think you got like 2% of whatever your holdings were in GE. I don't think it was.
It's one of those things where, like, GE, if you looked at the three things they broke up to, was GE Vernova, GE Aerospace, and GE Healthcare. GE Healthcare is trash. I'm like, healthcare, I don't like healthcare. And at the time I owned UNH.
Screw healthcare.
No, at the time I owned UNH, which is kind of funny, because I had to get out of that for obvious reasons. But no, GE Vernova, it seems a little top heavy. Even like Vistra, Constellation, like they've all run so much. Like their charts look so much like SMR more than I feel like they have a right to. You know, although SMR has pulled back significantly off of those highs. This is one that's getting into a spot where it could make some sense for reload. It has respected the 200 period moving average, and it is trending down into the 200 period moving average. So it'll be put up or shut up time if this makes another leg down on SMR. It hasn't done so yet. So far, it's just been a healthy pullback, but there's an example of why, you know, a good reason why you try to take some profit at the top. Maybe not on GE Vernova, but certainly on that name. And just going back over, we have 3 minutes until the imbalances come out.
It's imbalance time, baby.
I don't think there was anything big. Let me just double check. I thought there was nothing big happening tonight. Yesterday we had WBA, Walgreens. That was a 112 million sell, right? There's nothing like that we're expecting. I just double checked. You know, a couple of small things for 1 million shares. We'll see if anything comes out big. RIVN just slowly going up. I just threw up a trend line and then rolled my stop under the trend line and then moving on RIVN. So if it gets underneath 56, I got to move it manually.
I got to say, my family is home now, so I want to say hi to them. Hey, what's up, Gia? I love your hair. I think it's going great. And I've been planting red roses for you, Gia, all day here. So there's AMD. The rose top continues to happen right now. And this is for you again. We are now $1 and $2 in the money. Don't go to too many clubs, Gia, yet, but there it is, a nice move to the high side there for advanced micro devices. My kids, she's always asking me, when is my Roblox money coming in? And yeah, Roblox money's been coming in for quite a while now on the stock. I mean, take a look at what this stock has been doing. This is down here, $51 low there for Roblox, ripped all the way to 140, a triple up pretty much in just over a couple months. So congratulations, anybody that's been on this Roblox trade. What a great bounce there. I know they've had some issues lately, but nice bounce off of 115, getting into 130 again. So there goes Roblox. We've been liking that stock and talking all about that, and that's one of the stocks that we own as well. And my family just got all new iPhones, so shout out to Apple as well. And there goes Apple right now, up 1+% there into the day. So Apple continuously working out as well as we get those moves higher. Adair's and myself, we've all been talking about. Here we go. This is your brother, Gia, right there. You would know that, of course. Here, let's go over here and get back into the profile and see what names are reporting here today. Autodesk, Ambra, Marvell is the big one for me. Dell, Ulta. Oh, there we go. Ulta Beauty. Reporting tonight, in Elf Cosmetics as well. And so those stocks have been super, super hot fire. Ulta Beauty was a Warren Buffett was in that and out of that name as well. But this name, again, look at this, man. Bottom left, top right. There goes Ulta Beauty. I wish I would have invested a little bit into that name, but Ulta Beauty, again, right up to some nice areas. I always get, and we talk about this too, I'm nervous into this reprint, right? Because, again, Ulta Beauty, near the highs, got taken out there. This 50 period moving average and the 200 period moving average got taken way back in April, and we've sort of well off of that now. So definitely room to come back in if they miss and people start questioning the valuation. But oh boy, man, we ain't missing right now. It's 350, Neil. The imbalances are out, and there goes AMD up to 169. Happy, happy, joy, joy, as this keeps going to the upside. Have a good time at hockey tonight, and I will see you tonight. Remember, you got to tell me what you want to do for dinner out there. I just saw Joe with the shawarma, so we were talking shawarma. I'd already spoken to my family like 3 or 4 times today. So I told Gia we could do subs, shawarma, or I just cook. We do something on the barbecue as well. But I like to spoil those guys.
Little rain today, but
a little rainy.
I think it was clearing up at least a little bit. I certainly hope so, because we haven't been able to get up to playing basketball this week.
Nice.
Well, it's what I love is
it's dry.
No, it's one of those things, like you get lucky if your kids like a sport that you like playing as well. It just makes it even more fun. So now that I'm able to, I like going out and shooting.
Don't tear another Achilles.
Oh, no. I'm good.
Are you?
She's 8, so it's not like I'm going ham or anything. But NVIDIA is a 1.7 million to the buy side here. Apple, 1 million to the buy side. That's about it. Merck, nothing. Yeah, that's pretty much it for the big caps. Here, CRM, that's nothing. The market overall is 500 million to the buy side. Nasdaq 600. The Mag 7 overall 390. ITOS, that's a deal that's closing today. Nowhere near as big as Walgreens, obviously. But Walgreens was nonsensical. What is NVIDIA doing?
Whatever it wants.
It went like 20 or 30 cents on that imbalance, 1.5 million shares. Someone asked what the imbalances are. Every closing print on a pretty much every stock, but certainly North American stocks, is determined by an auction, and the auction information gets disseminated via imbalance information. And it just shows you, based on the orders that are going into the auction now, limit on close, market on close orders. If they pool all of that together and were to close it right now, let's say on NVIDIA, then there'd be 1.8 million shares to buy that are unaccounted for, and the price would be about 180.68 or so. But this actually updates. But the important thing is they do publish this for the purpose of having a controlled close. Like, they want people to know that there's a buy imbalance so that people that want to sell can offset it without driving the price down like crazy, knowing that there's a buy imbalance going into the close. So oftentimes what will happen is at about 355, that number will start to pair off, and it'll pair off even more at about 358. So just because it's a buy and balance doesn't mean the stock is going to go higher. What did I just hear about CrowdStrike? Wow, back to the CrowdStrike breaking the high of day again. It just keeps going and going and going from red distinctly, and we saw it in the aftermarket show. It didn't even bounce that much. You know, they didn't like the guide, but they like buying the dips, and so far, every single one of the big cybersecurity names has dipped on earnings and then ripped. All of them. I don't know if Sentinel-1's big enough to qualify, but that's the one reporting. I believe 9% expected move on Sentinel. You can make the argument that it's already dipped on Sentinel-1, as this was actually very, very different from CrowdStrike and Zscaler and Palo Alto. Sentinel-1 was literally coming off of its 52-week lows and just barely bouncing away from or above those bottoms here. So it's a little bit distinctly different in terms of the tone for this name going into earnings. The others were all mostly upward trending that pulled back. This one's been downward trending for a while, Sentinel-1.
All right, so today was a good day. As you can see here, we've just, trying to go through AMD again, up 1.1%. Sorry about that. This will be over here. We just got one, it's just ripping to the high side right now. Just a couple minutes left. I'm going to get some out. Okay, there you go. Got a 169 out right there. Really like what it's been doing right here today. So advanced micro devices keeps going higher. This has been such a better trade for me than NVIDIA has been over the last little while. So there's NVIDIA. It looks like it'll be pretty close if you voted red or green at the close. Yep, I'm going to say it's a push. I mean, 0.3 here on earnings. Yesterday's earnings thought was that we would get 6%, and I was taking the under on that, and it looks like that will hold true. But here into the close, with only 5 minutes left, anything could happen. Right now, this could even rip in the next little bit as we wait for those imbalances to flip up one more time. So here we go. We need the broker shares on here. That's the most important. So we push OK on this one, and there's NVIDIA still a buy. So actually, no, flipped over. So NVIDIA flips to a sell. So now red wins as you're down now 0.75, and there it goes, man. The flip just happened on NVIDIA, so that's downside. And then we're also just getting out there of, we must just get out of it all now. It's no difference to me. Get out some now. We have less than a couple percentage points here on AMD to get the rest out. So see, why chase this thing, man? Just offer 79s. Just offer, all right, forget about it. Punch out, get some, it didn't even get out. All right, there it is. All right, so we get 77s there out of AMD, and now we can close that trade off and be done for the day. A very successful day. I hope you guys enjoyed yourself, and Neil's gonna take care of some business. And then we have 4 minutes until earnings.
Until earnings season gets another leg going where you can probably do some swing trading. And if you're looking for swing trades, Trade the Pool has something new and special just for all of you. A free ebook featuring 4 proven swing trading strategies from Trade the Pool's top funded traders. Inside, you'll see exactly how they approach the markets, how they manage risk, and what setups they rely on. So you can learn and grow from what actually works. Download it now by scanning the QR code on the screen or hitting the link in the description. And hey, we're gonna have them coming through in just over a month, I believe, right? They're coming through in October, so
yeah.
Mitch is going to be coming through in
mid-October there.
It's all good, Rob. All good, no worries. Just the imbalances came out there, and there was nothing on RIVN, but there was when it got to the high of the day. I don't know, someone just showed up on the offer. They're already gone. So we just took it out, kind of double topped up there. I think this could be a nice day 2 play as well for RIVN, 3% to the upside. I don't want to forget about it. I like this consolidation over the 50-period moving average and the 200-period. It broke the 13.5. It got to like 13.66 in here, but this looks like a good opportunity for a continued breakout on that name for everybody. And big shout out to the entirety of the chat in here. And just a reminder, whether it's the morning show, the midday, what's going to be a banger market recap show, of course, with Sean and Adara. A big one because earnings are always more exciting. We love having earnings season. Remember, if you want to be in the chat, if you want to ask questions, you want to engage in something, jump in here. It's a subs-only chat, so hit the like, hit the subscribe. And Adam Jones saying Q's jumped up and closed. Maybe, but there's a lot of interest in Marvell. I see Marvell all over the place. Marvell, that's their... there's a lot happening in earnings. Marvell, AFRM, we've already gone over some of the names, but in the chip space, I remember when I missed a couple of years ago, I missed the NVIDIA earnings day, like the one 2 years ago. I was in Paris at the time, and it was like days or maybe a day after or 2 days after that Marvell's move was even bigger, right? So it can be ridiculously volatile. You have to go way back. This was, it was insanity on Marvell. Not this one. It was even further back. It was
just broke 60. I think it went like 60.
It was 2023 or something, so I'd have to go even further back on Marvell. Yeah, it was this. It was this one. Oh, I think it was this one. I think it was May. I'm pretty sure it was the May move where it went from like, it was like $50 and then it went all the way to like 65. I'm pretty sure that's the one.
Yeah, there's $60 was a key level back then. All right, I'm going to go over to the desk right now, get ready to go. So 2 minutes, join Adara and myself and Adara tonight for the recap show. Should be a great one. Lots of names on there. I like Webull. People are asking about it. I think it can take the same sort of path higher that SOFI and Robinhood took on earnings and then potential pullback. So I'd get out of Webull early tomorrow, but we'll talk about that at 8:30. 2 minutes to go. I'll be there soon.
And I see nonsense in the chat. Is how do you not schedule vacations around NVIDIA earnings? Paris, Weiss 40th, there was no chance that I wasn't going to do it. It's that simple. You know, it was one of those, like, it was happening, and, you know, I've done that in the past, where you literally schedule around, we got married so we could take advantage of Thanksgiving, which is a really slow week in November, so that's actually something that we did. Just one note, with less than 1 minute to go, CrowdStrike still at all-time highs. The initial move on earnings doesn't always tell the story, everybody, and CrowdStrike is one of the best examples of that you are going to find. Started from the bottom, and now it's here. So let's see what happens with SentinelOne. I don't know that it's in a position to dump as much, just given the fact that it was a little bit weaker of a name going into it instead of something which had been riding high for most of the year. But certainly that's one of the earning names that you should be wanting to watch here because it's been a pretty volatile space for sure. The closing bell here brought to you by Beta Pro by Globex. Check them out. Scan that QR code in front of you as we ring it in 2 and 1. And now the market is closed, everybody. So the market actually only 0.5% to the upside. But overall, a good day because if we start red on NVIDIA and the market ends up green, you know the dip buy is still in full effect. But we have a whole host of other earnings to get to and some special surprises in the aftermarket show. Big shout out to everyone working hard behind us to make this show bigger and better with Studio 8. As you can see, they never stop working tirelessly. But the work isn't over yet. You don't have to do anything except sit back, relax, maybe be ready for Affirm, Ulta Beauty, and more. Webull, Marvell, Adara, Sean. Your market recap show begins right now. It's locked and loaded. Have fun, everybody.
From one desk to another, it's Adara and myself. Adara, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good to see you again. Look, it's been a busy day here today, and we're going to start it off with some big earnings plays coming through on the Market Recap Show. Your Market Recap Show right now brought to you by Global X and Beta Pro. We want to thank them for their sponsorship of this segment. All right, ADSK is already out. So Autodesk, nice report here. I thought this had a good chance to get to the upside. We talked about that there. We're looking for a big number from them. Looks like we get it right now, up 9% right now, 1.76. It looks like they got a better number here on ADSK, and there it goes, man. We nailed that one. We've been talking about automation. There goes Autodesk. Nice move higher, trying to run into this level right here of 317, 318. ADSK, one of the very first ones out right now. There's a whole bunch coming out, but I just want to go through who's here right now, part of roll call. Put in here which name you're most excited for. People are excited for Webull. I called Webull. I like Webull as a bid there. Thank you, Maximus, and everybody that's here right now. Put in the chat what you're doing. You've stayed late with us, but there's ADSK. Adara, what do the numbers look like?
My computer just froze. This is going to be an issue, but
okay.
I do have the Autodesk numbers open, so I'll do that, and I'll deal with the rest of this later. Q2 adjusted earnings of $1.46, missing estimates of $2.45. That is a notable miss, Sean. I'm sure there's some context there that we're missing.
All right.
But sales of $2 billion did beat estimates of $1.72 billion, and second quarter revenue here did grow 17%. My computer is still frozen.
So make sure you put the stream, if you have the stream up, put that to the lowest quality.
Oh, I don't even think that's the issue. I think it just does this sometimes. But
Webull now apparently is reporting as well. I said that I thought that these guys could take a very, very similar move to both SOFI and Robinhood, and there goes Webull right now, a nice 4% move plus to the upside, 1550 right now for the BULL. It looks like they're going to beat right now. There's Webull right here, 5 cents. Nice move. EPS positive. EPS positive. That's what we're talking about for Webull. I think this move goes higher right there. There's a 5-cent EPS. Sales very, very small right now, 131 million, but up from 89 million. Webull looking to do the best right now. Webull, nice upside move. Just please get Fabian. He's just standing right there. Fabian. Adair needs help. Okay, so RIVN also right now making some moves higher here. So there goes Webull right now upside. So RIVN and Webull. RIVN going upside here as well. SJM, ADSK. So that's it for right now. All the names as we're fine. Adair's just restarting her box, and that should get going up very, very soon now. But it's Webull with the 5%, 5-cent EPS. It looks a little silly on here. We're looking for that 18 marker again. That would be a nice little high. I think a nice EPS take here of 15 bucks, of 5 cents EPS, a nice move there. Webull flying to the top side right now. I get excited for it because I think there's more to come here for Webull. And again, a play that we've given to you guys on the show, a play that I like, Oscar, Webull, the most recent buys as well. Good. Webull customer assets totaled 15.9 billion, up 64%. I am getting more and more excited right now about Webull, Adara. Year over year, funded accounts 4.73 million, also up 9%. So, but it's the story of ADSK right now. That is up 9% as Autodesk right now misses on the EPS. Like we said, maybe there's a miss there somewhere.
More for context on that.
Okay. Yeah. So we'll do that once you get back up and running. But sales beating 2 billion versus 172 right now. But yeah, it's Adara. It's Webull. Everyone's excited. Yes, 6% on Webull. I know. I mean, I like to give some predictions, and people mentioned to me, you know, what did we think about possible Webull? I was bullish on it. I don't think anybody else really gave a call, but for now it's working out there, Webull. I was bullish on it to the fact where I said, let's get out tomorrow morning when Webull comes through tomorrow, and then maybe a fade into the afternoon. But again, Webull goes 5 cents EPS. That's a positive number, so we really, really like that. Marvell is what we wait for now to see where that's coming down. That's going the other way, so we'll slap a fail. Yep. You guys know we bought some Marvell here today as well. So we get one win with Webull, it looks like. I have 67 cents for Marvell.
Oh my God.
Estimate 66 cents. So we'll find out what's going on with this one. Down to $70 right now. They do not like Marvell. Down 8% now, down 9%, going lower here. We may have to buy some on this dip here. So, oh no, for Marvell. Also, DELL. You tell me whatever stock you want to do first.
I can get into Autodesk a bit more. So they actually did beat on EPS. Okay. The issue is they only beat on EPS on an adjusted basis, and sometimes Benzinga will not, calculate that when they give us the numbers. It's all good. Their revenue, as I mentioned earlier, up 17% year over year. Their EPS, $2.62 adjusted versus estimates of $2.45. This guidance generally good. They're guiding well above estimates for adjusted Q3 EPS, raising their fiscal 2026 EPS guidance as well. That's above estimates. Q3 GAAP EPS and sales estimates, sales guidance beating estimate. They narrowed their guidance here for fiscal 2026 GAAP EPS. That's a little bit more mixed, but they did raise their fiscal 2026 sales guidance, which is above estimates. Generally, ADSK beat. Their guidance is more or less better than we were expecting. Marvell, let's get into because they actually missed your own revenue, Sean, unfortunately. Yep. And they're guiding basically the same revenue for next quarter. So Q2 adjusted earnings of 67 cents per share, narrowly beating 66 cents by a hair. Sales, $2.006 billion, missing estimates of $2.009 billion. This report is not the most exciting. What else do we have here on watch? What do people want to talk about? DELL? Let's get into DELL.
DELL is out right now.
If I have DELL, get into DELL. I do apologize, guys, for the technological
issues. Ulta Beauty, absolutely ripping.
Ulta too? Okay.
Ulta Beauty, a big number as well.
How about DELL?
Just coming out. So Ulta Beauty right now, 5. Wow. I mean, if if my family's watching, I mean, there it goes again, Ulta Beauty. I'm not even invested in this name, I should be. Ulta Beauty, a nice move higher there. 578 versus 497 in sales of 278 versus 266. So Ulta Beauty climbing higher. And look at this chart for Ulta at the bottom here. I mean, it just keeps on making new highs, Ulta Beauty. And you mentioned DELL, so they're out as well. Only flat right now for DELL. Implied move of 8%. It looks like it's doing its move. Sentinel-1 is also out right now. That's going higher. So again, we saw CrowdStrike go to the downside on their report yesterday. Looks like Sentinel-1 going higher right now. So we'll figure this all out. Webull up 4% now, 5%. It did get as high as 1560. We did think about a little bit of a fade there at the top. I still think Webull has more room to run. And then womp womp. Marvell was down 5%, now down 7%. It's low there, $70 for Marvell. Did bounce back to 74. We'll wait to see what's going on with that name. But yeah, Marvell right now downside. Not a great report for them. So we'll swing and miss on that one. But Ulta, DELL looking pretty good. Affirm also out as well.
Yeah, I have some more stuff here.
Sure.
DELL did beat here their Q2 EPS, $2.32 per share versus $2.31 expected. Slight beat. Sales, $29.776 billion versus $29.172 billion. So that is a double beat for DELL. They raised their 2026 EPS guidance. It is beating estimates now. Fiscal 2026 sales guidance also above estimates here, 105 to 109 billion versus 104.58 billion expected. Now, Sean, their Q3 adjusted EPS guidance is not great, $2.45 versus $2.55 expected, but they did beat on their sales guide. Let's talk as well here about ULTA with a bit more detail. I know you talked about Ulta in general. They did beat, hefty little beat here for their EPS, $5.78 per share versus $4.97 expected. Sales, $2.788 billion versus $2.666 billion expected. And they raised their fiscal 2025 EPS and sales guidance. They're now expecting earnings of $23.85 to $24.30 per share. That's well above estimates of $23.58. They raised their sales guidance for the year to $12 billion to $12.1 billion, also above estimates of $11.7 billion. Ulta, bang out report. Sean, dare I say this is beautiful?
Yeah, you should say that because it is. And we have another beautiful one here too. Ambarella. Oh my. Ambarella, huge move up 15%. This is a $70 name right here. Nice upside move. This is a 900-minute chart just to give you guys an idea of some past levels. So its high of Ambarella used to be 85.15. We'll see if we can take that out right now. Ambarella, huge move there. EPS 15 cents. Crushing, man. They only expecting 5 cents right there for AMBA. So they get 15 versus 5. They get sales of 95 versus 90. Nice upside move there for Ambarella. I think Marvell's a buy down here in the 60s if we can get that. Looks like it's going lower right now. So we'll just average in and buy this name. It's been low. Obviously, that's the April lows there, $42. Wow, I wish we would have got that. But yeah, $60 looks like a decent area there. We'll see if it can stop. I think it gets a little bit higher. Marvell's guide was a little bit of a problem. They do have a lower angle to their guide. Marvell's low end here, it looks like, I was just on it right there. It's 69 cents to 79 cents is their guide when the expectation was 72. So there is a world where they wind up missing next quarter. That's the 69 versus the 79. And then they see sales estimate coming at 2.1 billion. Their high is 2.16. Their low is 195. So Marvell speaking the truth, I guess, on a little bit of a cloudy look forward. And I mean, I just think that we want to read the notes and we also want to read the report and figure out what is going on with the conference call, because I wonder how much of that is baked in with China and them not knowing what is good moving forward. So, all right, what do you want to talk about?
Well, I have a lot of things I want to talk about. For one, Marvell, even with the sales miss, they did have a 58% year-over-year increase in revenue, so it's not all bad. I'm going to go over a whole bunch of numbers here for you guys. Ambarella. Adjusted earnings of 15 cents per share, beating 5 cents expected. Sales, 95.511 million versus 90.01 million expected. I know this was a name that at one point Brian Shannon had his eyes on, that AMDA. Let's talk about Sentinel-1, because Sentinel-1 is doing some things here. They did post a beat here. EPS, 4 cents per share versus 3 cents per share expected. Sales, 242.183 million versus 242.167 million expected. That is a narrow beat for both of these, which is pretty tight there. They did guide better than expected Q3 sales, 256 mil versus 254.38 mil expected. And what was the last one there? They raised their fiscal 2026 revenue guidance. They're now expecting sales between 98 mil to 1.002 billion dollars. That is a very slight increase, and the lower end here is still missing estimates of 998.54. One more, Sean.
Let's go.
We got a firm, so let's see what's happening here with AFRM. I know in the past I've complained about how inaccessible a firm's reports are because they're like almost impossible to find on their website, but we have it pretty early this time, so thank you, Affirm. Q4 earnings of 20 cents per share, beating estimates of 10 cents per share. Sales, $876.417 million versus estimates of $837.026 million. That is a nice double beat for Affirm, so you're probably also thanking the company if you are a shareholder. Woof! On watching.
Let's see how down 1%, so it's a little strange that it's.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. There's probably more. Like I said, I usually read through the reports, but Affirm, the way they publish theirs, I literally cannot access it. Okay. And it's a weird PowerPoint, so thank you, Affirm. Like, remember the last one just had the CEO's face on it, and I was like, that's not helpful. But keep an eye here in WOOF. Petco Health and Wellness, 5 cents. They posted an unexpected profit, Sean. 5 cents per share versus an expected loss of 1 cent per share. Sales, $1.489 billion, narrowly missing estimates of $1.493 billion. And Affirm has their guidance, Sean, and that might be potentially why we're a bit lower. They're guiding Q1 sales between 855 and 885 million versus estimates of 860.555 million. The midpoint of this is going to beat estimates, but the lower end is not. So there we go. Earnings fiasco, whatever how we want to call it, over except 415 we get Gap, and we already got Bull. So.
Yeah, I'm not too excited about Gap. But,
it's something to talk about.
Something to talk about. Yeah, we got some stuff going on here for sure. Okay, so also Open Door, some insider buying, I guess, just announced right now. Open Door up another 3%. I'm actually going to type this in to the newsfeed to find out exactly what this was. No, I don't see anything here on that story, but there it is. Nice little move higher there of Open Door in the after hours. So yeah, look, great day overall today. You know, the market did have a nice, basically a nice open as we started with that number from the jobless claims was a little bit better than expected. I'm going to go to a 5-minute chart here just so we can get a better look. Remember, this is a daily, so you can see right here, it's a 900-minute chart, but I feel like it gives us enough information. So there's the day. We started off nice with that jobless claims number at 925. It came at 830. There it goes, nice bounce, and then it came right back in, bouncing off the 200 period, and then almost closing near the highs. We do have that little dip down right at the end of the day. Part of that, we did have those market imbalances come through, and then we had NVIDIA off earnings. Day one of NVIDIA earnings, I mean, yesterday, this is NVIDIA there. We had a great after market recap show with NVIDIA earnings yesterday with Neil and Adara. But yesterday, NVIDIA closed the day at 181.50. And today, we got to 181. Now heading a little bit lower here in after hours for NVIDIA. Just slightly, nice little tick down there into 179. NVIDIA was a pretty good short today if you caught that all-time high, and that was it right there. And yes, you might think about this wick. That does happen. It comes in at 184.50. That was its all-time high and still is. It does not break that. So we get there on earnings and then fade the rest of the day. And oh boy, did they ever give that fade in. From 184 all the way back down to 176 right now goes NVDA. So not much going on there. AMD was a much better trade, I feel like, as we were able to pick that bottom right there, 166, 167 bottom there for AMD, and they're also coming back in just a little bit here in after hours. And again, part of that I would say is because of other names that I've reported here today as well. Oh, that's MRCL. It's MRVL, Marvell, not helping the semi space here as they give a little bit of concern with their guide. They beat on top and bottom, I believe Marvell did, but still.
I know they missed revenue.
Oh, they missed on revenue. Okay, yeah. So yeah, that would be obviously another good reason there why that is out of favor now, Marvell.
I have more details on the insider buy for open.
Okay, you did find that. So Affirm right now, 1.19%, not having too much there. DELL, also a very important name to go with. And there you go to the downside there. Someone's got to build these racks. Someone's got to build the server side of this business. And there it is to the downside. So DELL downside helping with NVIDIA going lower and AMD. Ramin, I don't have, or Fabian, I don't have the show in my ear. So when things are ready to go, give me a big shout out over there as well. All right, so you mentioned Open Door possibly there with some insider buy. What is that information, Adara?
Yeah, I mean, I knew our good buddy Eric Jackson would have something on it. That is the Drake man who really wants Drake to open his door to Open Door. But basically what happened was Yeah, it's a terrible pun, but it is what it is. So what happened here was I looked at the SEC filings. Eric Jackson had, of course, posted about this because everyone automatically tags him. So this individual by the name of Shrisha Radhakrishna, who is the president and interim leader of Open Door, unclear in what capacity he's interimly leading, but he purchased roughly 30,000 shares, exactly 30,000 shares of Open Door stock today. Average price here, most of them he got at 427, some he got at 442. In total, he's got a decent amount here. It looks like roughly $4.3 billion worth of stock. But again, I can't exactly tell. I don't want to math it wrong. Either way, decent purchase here of Open Door stock if I'm reading this SEC filing correctly. But if I get more details, I'll let you know.
Yeah, okay, 30,000 shares or so there. I mean, if it's a $4 name, you're looking at just over $100,000 there. So not huge for many insiders, but as you mentioned, they're just adding the position. It's great when you see some insider buying. You know, hopefully that this means that, you know, the executive believe in the name. We like to see buybacks. NVIDIA had the $60 billion buyback instituted as well. So, yeah, we're going to wait to see what happens here with Open Door. But yeah, it's DELL. And dude, where's your DELL? You're getting a DELL. Those old years and years. Michael Dell actually took DELL off the market and brought them back. So right now, DELL, pretty good bottom there, $66 for the 52-week low, now up to 128. So it's still a double up there for DELL as we continue to watch out for that name. Just a quick little brief index look here and what's going on some of the different sectors today. NVIDIA, the only real name here in electronic technology that served downside today. Apple got a nice little boost up as we wait now a week and a half away. It's September 9th with their new iPhone, hopefully talking about some different products coming through. I heard they might be revamping the iPad as well.
Well, yeah, I was going to say, you know who else has an event that day? Robinhood.
Okay.
And Robinhood announced theirs first, so I don't really know what Vlad and co are trying to do. That seems very aggressive, but Vlad usually has his events a little bit earlier.
I wonder about the time. Yeah, I was going to say the timing, because normally Apple's, what, 1 in the afternoon?
Apple's usually, yeah, it's 10 Pacific, so 1 Eastern.
Perfect.
Vlad's last event was around 11 Eastern, and it was that weird to catch a token thing.
Right,
we'll see what the name is for this one, but either way, I think those Robinhood events tend to move the market directly a little bit more than Apple's. So
okay, so we'll wait. Again, it's easier to move around Robinhood stock. And Adara, if I told you the Mag 7, we know those, the Magnificent 7, all the big tech names, what percent of the S&P 500 do you think they compose of?
I feel like I saw someone posting this recently, or I saw you posting this recently. It's like, what, 10 to 30%?
Yeah, it's 10 to 30.
10 to 20%?
Yeah, 34%.
No!
34%.
I have an infographic about this. I can't
of the S&P 500 are those Mag 7 names. And you can see there, just from yesterday, I got you, Fabian, just from yesterday, we did have a big run upside in the Nasdaq getting close. All right, news, and then we'll get to our guest.
So apparently a senior Trump administration official just said that package shipments to the U.S. are going to be subject to flat duties of $80 to $200 for 6 months. Then they'll transition to specific duty rates. So if you were sending packages to the U.S., be prepared to pay up.
Yeah, everything seems to be getting more and more expensive these days, that is for sure. And an asset class that has been getting expensive as well is gold. And right now we're going to flip over to our interview of the afternoon, and we'll be bringing in here CEO and Executive Director Brett Richards from Pasofino Gold. So let's bring him on in. There he is. Hey, Brett, how are you doing today? Uh-oh, can't hear us. Okay, we'll flip back. We'll go back over to Brett in just a couple seconds here. Pasofino Gold is what we're going to be talking about here. And I was actually going to bring up to Brett that gold has really outpaced the S&P 500 so far this year. And that was an interesting thing that I did want to talk to Brett about. Okay, let's flip back. Brett, are you with us?
I am here.
Great,
How
great.
you doing, guys?
Great to meet you. Great to see you. Thank you so much for coming on again. Pasofino Gold. I was just saying gold, very, very important asset class. There's been many investors in this. We've known about gold for decades and decades, but it's now just finally starting to catch attention. And I think the reason why, it's up over 25% year to date versus the S&P 500, just 11%. So very interesting. And a lot of our viewers very excited about gold. And I'm going to explain to them, or you're going to, what Pasofino Gold is all about. So Brett Richards, CEO and Executive Director, give us a little bit of an update. What's going on with Pasofino Gold, and what exactly is your company doing?
Yeah, thanks for having me on again. Pasofino owns 100% of the Dugbe Gold Project, and the project's in Liberia, in Western Africa, which is one of the most stable jurisdictions in Africa in today's world. We have, in aggregate, 3.9 million ounces of gold, and we have a feasibility study completed on it in 2022. Today, we're working on updating that feasibility study to bring it more into the current gold price environment, but also update the costings. Post-COVID was when the last study was done, and we should be able to get that out in the next 7 to 8 months, get through project financing, and get this mine started, because this project, even at today's gold price, has a post-tax NPV of over $2 billion, and we are excited to get rolling on this as soon as we get the feasibility study updated.
Brett, how important is it that you have, the government support behind you? I mean, I think we have so many different aspects that we talk about copper in Chile and all that kind of action. It's very important that the mines are supported by local governments and whatnot. How does that look for Pasofino Gold?
Yeah, I've worked in about 10 or 11 countries in Africa, sub-Sahara and in West Africa. And Liberia is by far and away the most collaborative and one of the easier jurisdictions to work with. We have complete support all the way up to His Excellency, the President. And we have complete support from the Mines and Energy Ministry. So, it is absolutely important that you have these types of relationships and ongoing dialogue and discussions, both with the government and also your host communities who have also been equally supportive.
Thank you so much for being here with us. Brett, you just mentioned here that 2022 feasibility study. So can you tell us a little bit about the results, or the first results here, of the gap analysis aspect of that study that you mentioned?
Yeah, we have a few areas that we need to do some work on. A little bit on the geology front, just to get ultimately comfortable with the resource. So we're going to do about 5,000 or 6,000 meters of drilling. We have to do some test work in order to see if we can get the recoveries above 83%, get them closer to 90, and I think we'll be able to achieve that. And then just updated costing on certainly the plant and equipment and all of the infrastructure associated with what we're doing. And that'll go on over the next kind of 6 to 10 months. And then we will rewrite, we'll have our consultants update the NI 43-101 technical report, and we'll get that filed. And we'll get working towards all of our permitting is ready to go. So we'll submit our permitting at the same time, and hopefully submit our Class A mining application for our mining license, probably around March, April, May of next year.
Yeah, so we have another question here with regards to this project, I guess the work activities. Can you talk a little bit about some of these proposed activities and the timeline with regards to completion? You already spoke a little bit about what the study is going to entail, I guess.
Yeah, I think the drilling we're going to do is actually not very material. There's about 10,000 meters of drilling we'll do from now until Christmas. We'll get the resource model updated, and we'll turn that into an updated mine plan, resequenced on new gold prices. The previous feasibility study constrained the pits at $1,600 gold. Well, we're in a much different gold price environment today, so we can expect that a lot of the sequencing, in order to bring cash flow forward, bring grade forward, will be part of these exercises as well.
Great, thanks, Brett. And of course, with interest rates going a little bit lower, that should be able to help the funding aspect of that as well. We want to give everybody an idea, because they're asking in the chat, where can they invest? It's VEIN on the TSX Venture and EFRGF over there on OTC Exchange. So EFRGF, plus you can find it right there at the bottom, our little bumper there, giving all of the information. Everyone in the chat wants to know about that picture behind you there. Is that your study? Is that your where your mine is located there in Liberia?
That's where our camp is in Liberia, and sorry for the casual nature here. I'm in Monrovia today, and tomorrow we have some meetings with the government and with our host communities. But yeah, that's our camp, and Liberia is a lovely place.
Great, yeah. There's some questions in the chat, and everyone's saying that they're absolutely loving the story right now, wanting to know where to invest. So, Brett, Promise you'll come back with a little bit of an update. We'll see how these studies go. We'll see what's going on with what you can find in the ground. It's Brett Richards, CEO and Executive Director of Pasofino Gold right there. So thank you for being part of the show today. And will you come back?
Absolutely.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Brett Richards again. Have a good one, and thank you for joining us. That's our interview of the afternoon. Thank you, Brett. So there it is, Adara. I think that went pretty well.
Thank you very much to Brett Richards.
Yeah, really glad to have him on. And what we're trying to do here is just highlight some different companies that maybe are just either junior miners, like Pasofino Gold is there. And, you know, have a look yourself, do the due diligence. That's the most important thing that we can promise you is good companies with obviously a story behind them. So thank you, Brett, for all of that. And everyone in the chat was wondering what that was there. So Liberia, I've never been to Liberia. You?
No, I've never been to Africa at all.
Okay, so interesting. Yeah, actually, yeah, same. That's interesting. I actually wanted to.
Africa?
No, I was going to say, no, I was wondering if traveling through, if we had been through Egypt or something like that. But no, I do not think so either. But yeah, there it is there, Pasofino Gold. Go check them out, EFRGF or VEIN on the TSX Venture Exchange. Nice little possible rounding out bottom there in and around 26 cents on the OTC markets. All right, Adira, only a couple more minutes left. Let's run through the big names. I mean, we had a couple names today that we definitely wanted to look at. That was, unfortunately, the one that's not going to be the nice one for your boy over here is Marvell, because we had made a play on this one today. We had bought $76. We're not going to cry about this at all. It's at 72 right now as Marvell misses on sales, beats on EPS, but the guide was slightly under what was expected there. So Marvell, $72. Still needs a little work to be done on that one. ADSK, Autodesk, was a big winner and still is. I got to make sure that these are still holding up. Autodesk right there, $320. So a nice 11% upside move there for ADSK. AMBA, is that Ambarella? I got that right? Yeah, Ambarella, wow, that's another one. 21% Adara, as that name keeps on climbing higher and higher here from earnings today again. So that name doing well. DELL also, they're going to the downside. They came out with a report, 128 right now, down 4%. AFRM wasn't moving around too much, but now, wow, there it is, up 11%. So that's a little bit of a surprise.
Yeah.
They started down and now going higher there for AFRM. All right. Come on, Webull. Come on, Webull. Let's see what Webull's doing. I can't go 0 for 2 here with Webull and Marvell, can I? Womp womp. There it is. Right.
Did you go 0 for 2? You
don't have to go 0 for 2. No, right here, Webull right now only up 3%. So yeah, unfortunately there, not making up for the losses in Marvell. But hey, the thing about losing on stocks, you don't lose until what happens?
Until you take the L.
Exactly,
and that's
until
what
you cover. So right now, we ain't covering Marvell. We actually want to buy some more. So we're going to buy some more in the 60s if Marvell does get down into those levels. Anything else?
Yeah, that is why I don't look at my P&L intraday, because that whole, like, I think longer term it's a bit different, but I'm like, yeah, you know, the whole idea of like, oh, it's only a loss if you take it is. It is what it is. Let's talk about GAP, because Gap looks like it might be gapping down a little bit. They did beat here on EPS 57 cents versus 55. Expected sales in line, 3.73 billion. They affirmed their fiscal 2025 sales here. Guidance, 5.25 bill to 5.4 bill. That's almost exactly in line with estimates of 15.33 bill. If you look at the midpoint. Gap Q3 sales, though, they're guiding lower than expected. Sean, 3.857 bill to 3.895 bill versus 3.91 bill expected. Now, may I also mention our good friend OPAD. People are asking me what's happening with OPAD, what's happening with OPAD. So I would like to see this like on Benzinga or more official before I confirm this, but I am seeing some screenshots. It looks like they may have filed an offering. Now, I say may have because, okay, so it does look like this is official, so I'm just seeing this from a headline here of another napkin, I guess, a news source. It looks like they're entering an agreement for up to $100 million here in common stock sales. So an offering here for OPAD.
Okay,
we know Eric Jackson went off after this name a little bit on X, like, oh, well, Open is better. Why hasn't Open moved the way that OPAD moves? I'm like,
I know, I heard that.
Please calm down. Just go back to Drake's house. Like, I'm sorry. I find this man to be deeply
You know what, Adara? I think we should send you. We should pay to get you over to Drake's house. You hold up a sign there that says "Watch Trader TV Live."
Maybe I'll just interview Eric Jackson.
Or maybe I just send Neil over there.
I'll go. I'll just interview Eric Jackson because I mean, imagine.
But he has to be hanging out there, though.
But he probably is.
Okay.
We know he's there every day. We have to.
Is he Canadian? What do you mean?
Yes, he is. He's from Toronto. So this is what we do. This is what we do. This is what we do. So we go through his social media. We find out when the man usually comes to Drake's house. Then we show up to Drake's house with our own cameras and our own crew, and we conduct an interview. And that's how we get the open bulls and maybe the open bears to, okay, guys, I have plans here. We got big plans.
Good. I mean, I am.
2-year anniversary coming up at Trader TV in a couple of days, so I'm like, we got it.
You are
guns
on
blazing.
One.
Let's do it.
You are on one right now. Okay, thank you so much to everybody for joining us. Say thank you to Brett Richard from Pasofino Gold as well. Good interview. I think we got some information out there for you, and then big earnings, obviously.
There's a really funny super chat for you, and also.
What is it?
You can read it out. It's just hilarious.
Oh, okay. There it is right here. Okay, I'll bring it onto the screen right here because we still got to do this. You know. All right. Sean, my cat saw your short on Tesla and it turned into a lion. Yeah, buddy, what's up?
I love that.
Now what? Well, I was just going to say, what's up, Maximus? We had a huge short on Tesla. We had $13 in the money. It was a big one today. I would just say if your cat turned into a lion, make sure you know that it's still friendly to your kids and whatnot. And just, I don't know, maybe show it some Lion King. Maybe it could be more Simba related and maybe a little bit of a baby lion. But that trade was good on Tesla. Could always be better. Could always have used more shares. And isn't that the life of a trader? You know, you have a $13 winner, and I'm just like, man, why didn't I hold more?
This is how I feel with the spready tickers all the time because you really can't take too much size on them because
hey, this is your favorite spready ticker.
Oh. Honestly, Lily. Lily's been like my queen this week.
We like that one.
I love Lily. I'll do Lily.
Quickly, let me see who's here on roll call right now. Mike DeRider's here. What's up, Mike DeRider? Other Zinc is here as well. Ron Miller. All you stayed late with us for sure. Thank you for doing that. Over 2,800 still there. James Dell is here. Green Day Dean. It's always nice. Come to the screen right here. We can show everybody what we're talking about. Green Day Dean is here. Mike P. DeRider says, Roaring Kitty. Are you Roaring Kitty, Mike P. Ryder? Right there, Ichiro as well. It's funny because we had Sam Bankman-Fried on the show just before he went to jail.
I have seen this video, and his voice is way higher than I thought it would be.
Yeah,
and it's funny actually kind of upsetting.
I even asked him about cold storage on that, and then he was like, nah, as long as you have an exchange that you trust, you can keep it on there.
That's dirty.
And then his exchange went belly up.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, that was unfortunate there, but shout out to, at that point, he was worth $32 billion.
And now he is worth jail.
Now he's worth whatever his parents, I think his parents got to keep a house or something like that. All right, thank you so much for watching. It's 8:30 tomorrow. We're all back, man. It's a full boat tomorrow with a lot of earnings plays. NVIDIA day 2. AMD is going to be on one.
Day 2.
Tesla roar as the lion comes out today on Tesla. It should be a good one. Adair and I always having a good time. So I want to thank Adair for coming through. Congratulations on your 2-year. When is that?
August 30th, which is obviously a Saturday. So technically, I guess tomorrow.
Okay, tomorrow. Hey, get in there, man. We'll get some super chats tomorrow. Maybe we'll have for lunch whatever. I don't know. We'll see what lunch is tomorrow, but maybe we get a special Trader TV lunch to celebrate Adara's 2-year anniversary. How long for you, Fabian? How long have you been here? Over 2 years.
Yeah, Fabian and Ramin were already there when
Shoot, we didn't do a lunch for Fabian. That's okay. Okay, he doesn't care about that. Okay, good. All right, and Starbucks. Maybe we get some Starbucks for everybody tomorrow. We'll figure that out. Or go second cup. Canada. What's up with that, Fabian?
Because he doesn't like Starbucks, they're American.
Yeah, this is a second cup.
Yes.
I think you have a second cup right there. Show everybody your second cup right there.
I went to second cup because I wanted Tim's and it was full. I thought I was in line, then a guy cut me in line and I realized maybe I wasn't in line. I don't want this, so I went to second cup.
Nice.
That's the only reason I chose second cup.
Sometimes the world has a way of figuring it out for you.
Right? Because I was like, I don't know what I want, and then I was like, I don't want to be here, and I just floated over.
All right, we've got our Canadian top tuxedo on today, a little jean shirt going on.
Shout out to Justin Timberlake and Britney Spears and the amazing jean. Do you remember this era?
That picture?
There's
a picture of them both in the jeans. Yeah, no, I just remember, I think Randy one day came, and then, shout out to Kendrick. He was wearing a jean outfit
Canadian
on Super Bowl. On Super Bowl there. I don't know who's doing Super Bowl. There's some Spanish performer that's doing.
Rosalia? No.
I think there's two Super Bowls, two Super Bowl halftime shows. This year. Anyways, we'll talk about it tomorrow. All right, that's Adara. I'm Sean. Thank you so much for putting up with us. And tomorrow is a brand new day. Ciao for now.
It's not confirmed yet who it is.
Yeah, there is one person.
Really? They're saying